Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Interviewees. Hey, welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Pretty good sports weekend for Cleveland. Guards take 2 of 3.
I'll take that.
Browns look very, very good in their preseason opener. And we might even talk about Shedeur Sanders. I don't know. What do you guys think? Possible?
I think
a little bit.
Just
a little bit.
We're going to get into Floria.
Yeah, Luke Floria, if you haven't heard, was waived.
Mason
Graham.
designation.
We saw some rookies.
Schwesinger. Listen, there was a lot of positive things happening on the field in Charlotte Friday night. So I know it was 3 days ago, but we're still going to dive into it. That's what we do here on Mondays. So busy show. But first, let's throw it to Mike behind the glass. Mike, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good.
Good?
Before we do anything otherwise, I just want to mention, you mentioned Luke Floria. And Steve, you want to take this video. We got some great footage from Sean
What a
Dunnigan
shame,
here,
man.
from the game against Carolina over the weekend. Floria has been waived. It's an injury designation, according to Daniel Oyefusi, friend of the show, works for ESPN Cleveland. He has reported that Floria could revert back to the Browns if he clears waivers. It's still a big if at this point, but if he clears waivers. And he said he talked to some guys around the league who, and in Berea, I'm assuming when he says around the league, I'm assuming in Berea, that say the Browns would like to keep him around too, praying he stays in Cleveland if he clears waivers after this injury scare. But he hurt the hamstring on an incredible one-handed catch. And we're not going to do a whole topic on Luke Floria, but that catch was pretty spectacular. He's had a great camp, according to all reports. Some really good reports.
This is it here, right?
Sanders.
Is this his catch?
I haven't seen this melt yet, so this is a shorter catch here. We'll let this play through until he makes the one-handed catch. But it is a shame that he got hurt. It's the downside of preseason. But Luke Floria had a chance, made some big plays, and unfortunately is out with the hamstring for the time being. Here's the one-handed grab.
Yeah.
You
can see him grab the hand.
Grabbed it right away.
Right away.
And it's messed up because it's the low one. It's the low one. The low one is devastating. Boy, you can't even extend that joint like you want to. You seen it right here. He tried to stretch it out. I give him credit, and I was like, no, just go ahead and. But listen, I'm rooting for the kid, man.
I am too. You know,
he made plays
he's got
all
to clear
camp.
waivers. We have to keep in mind that the Steelers were the other team that was really interested in Luke Floria when he went undrafted out of Kent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to grab him. Hopefully he heals up and he gets back at it. I mean, by his own account, am I right, Corey? It wasn't that bad. How did he classify it?
I texted him and he said it's a minor.
Yeah.
Sports football guy, I'm good, but it seems
of course, that's
a little bit more shit. And the lower, when you get those tendons involved, it takes longer to heal down.
Tricky. We'll see.
Jay, will you repeat
him
that because he doesn't have a mic? So can't hear what he said.
Corey coaches his sister, Paige. In fact, they were in Germany a couple of weeks ago for an international competition. She's a long jumper at Rutgers. And so Corey met Luke on a training day, and he said he texted him, check on the hamstring. He said he's going to be good. But the classification from the Browns was that it was pretty serious.
Yeah.
The move, I don't know if there's what advantage there is other than clearing a roster spot to get another guy into camp.
I wish Tyvis, because he was talking about this last year.
Yeah.
Because he was saying how sometimes it's better to, he was saying it's better to get cut because then they can – you at least get paid somehow.
With the injury designation, too, I wonder, there's got to be some advantage to it. It seems like there would be. Hopefully he heals up and comes back. But there were so many positive things going all over on the field. Boy, I would have loved to have seen Judkins out there. I really would have. I'm not sure why. What did Dillon get, 2 carries?
Stefanski just was like, hey, Ken Dorsey, can I get that old playbook that we discarded last year? Because we're going to just, we're not going to show you anything. We're going to go 5 wide.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very basic.
It was basic, but
I would have liked to have seen a little bit more from the run game. That's going to be, that's what they're going to rely on this year. They're going to be a running team.
Can I give you a spin zone on that, Jay?
Yes.
Spin zone.
Yeah.
I have no inside information, but I'm assuming the rookies who didn't play a lot,
Yeah.
like Sampson, Fannin was not involved in the offense really whatsoever. Schwesinger
No.
only played 13 snaps. Graham didn't play a ton. I think they just feel better about those guys and have bigger plans
Maybe.
now
Yeah.
for the actual game because they didn't play any real starters. So.
But can we not do what we've done the last couple of years and have game number 1 be our first run through? Like you saw what the Bengals did in their first preseason game. The Bengals have been very, very much like the Browns the last couple of years.
Chiefs be playing everybody.
Put them out there. Let's see what you got. Let's go. Let's not have week 1 be our first dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
So I don't know what his plan is. Hopefully in week 2 and in week 3 we get to see the starters. Don't pop quiz us on week 1 against Cincinnati.
Do you think this is what do you think the rationale is we didn't already have Pickett hurt, Gabriel hurt, we just lost MJ Emerson for the season, Floria looked good, he's out. Are they like, did somebody tap you on the shoulder and be like, hey, listen, we ain't even played Philly yet?
Yeah, no, I know. I don't know.
We might want to.
That's a good question. But you've said it before. Don't live in your fears.
Hey, look,
You've got to
I'm
get these guys
play
ready.
them. Play
and
them.
there's a risk of injury in the regular season, week 1.
Yeah,
You're not going to not play them then. So to me, it just seems like to get these guys up to speed. Now, I don't know what Carolina didn't. They certainly weren't throwing their starters out there.
Yeah, they only played a little bit.
Each
they
team
played
has
two
a different
series on both
philosophy.
ends, starters and
Yeah, each team has a different philosophy. I would think that the Browns, the way they started the last couple of years and how little they used their starters in the preseason, I would hope they've reevaluated like Cincinnati. And let's just make sure that week 1 isn't our big dress rehearsal.
I think this is going to be McNuggets will probably have it on a rundown at some point, but most fascinating week is this week. Because I don't know, like, are you going to practice the guys hard with Philly in practice?
gave us some clarity on how he's going to handle that. We'll talk about that
Good,
a
we'll
little
get
bit
into
later
it.
in the show. But let's start with the main event that is reacting to Shedeur Sanders' first start. This topic is brought to us by Yahoo Fantasy. Fantasy football is back. We got Corey in the house. Corey runs Team Crawford in the UCSS Fantasy League. And we are back on Yahoo this year after Bull's 1-year detour to another fantasy platform that was not nearly as good, not nearly as easy to use as Fantasy on Yahoo. Yahoo is the only fantasy app you should be using. We're going back. I'm thrilled. And to celebrate 28 years of fantasy greatness, Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over 28 days, giving you more ways to play, more ways to draft, and more ways to win. It all begins on August 4th. Stay tuned and start creating and joining leagues on fantasy football via the Yahoo app at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. That is yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. And let's make this fantasy season the best one yet. Guys, on Friday we did a little Shedeur reaction show, and it is our most viewed post-game reaction show ever by almost 200%. It is incredible. The Shedeur phenomena is incredible. And I want to start with Jay on this because, Earl and G, you have already given your immediate reactions to what Shedeur did against the Carolina Panthers. So, Jay, we'll start with you, then G and Earl, you guys chime in. But if you missed the postgame show, it is on our YouTube page. It's been viewed over 97,000 times now. So, shout out to you guys for tuning in. But, Jay, what did you make of Shedeur's inaugural NFL game debut where he threw for 2 touchdowns against the Panthers?
I almost, and this is tough to say, but I almost find absolutely no flaws in any of it. There were a couple of plays. I don't really look at the completions. I just tend not to. I remember when Johnny Manziel made his rookie NFL preseason debut, everybody thought that we had the right guy, and he only missed on 1 throw. But I thought there were all kinds of things Johnny Manziel did wrong in that game. So I tended to disregard the fact that I think he was like 7 of 11 or 8 of 12, and he had a lot of drops, and one was a catch that they didn't review that should have been a catch. And everybody was going nuts. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, we got him!" And I was watching. I go, I don't see it. I didn't like the way he commanded the huddle. I didn't like certain things about his footwork. So again, I don't really put too much in unless you're throwing a lot of interceptions. That I don't want to see. He took care of the football. More than anything, I felt like it was an NFL offense. It was in rhythm. I hated the 3 and out to start. Corey, we were watching. I'm like, just don't go 3 and out. Let the kid get 7 or 9 plays under his belt to start. You could see he didn't want to come off the field. And I'm like, okay, now he's got to go through this all over again. But once he got his rhythm, guys, not once was there a problem getting the team out of the huddle up to the line and the ball snapped. Everything was clean. His footwork was clean. I thought he made one bad decision on protection calls, and he paid the price for it. I thought his footwork was good. I thought his timing was impeccable. I said Friday, I said he's going to go 11 of 19 for 113 and a touchdown. In reality, he was 14 of 23, so 3 more completions, 4 more attempts, 25 more yards, and another touchdown. Mikey, you said he's going to get 25 throws. I thought that was a little high, but he did. I thought they were going to keep him in there for one half. Mm-hmm. And I was so glad they let him come out to start the third quarter. I really didn't see anything. Now, I'm not saying starter. I'm not saying 10 wins. I'm not going that far. What I'm saying is he could only do one thing in his first game, and that was pass the test. Mm-hmm. You either pass your first test or you fail it. Mm-hmm. You can check that box. Now, was it against starters? For a little bit. You know, there's a lot of other boxes that need to be checked, but you can't get to check the second box until you check the first box. And the first box, to me, he looked like an NFL quarterback. It felt like an NFL offense. He made the right decisions. I did want to see him throw the ball downfield. I think six yards per attempt is a little lower than I wanted to see. But by and large, I don't know that I would give it an A+, because to me, A+ is if you're perfect.
Right.
I can't go that far, but to me, it's a solid A. And it's a great building block for the future.
Pearl?
How can you not be excited, right? I mean, you look at what he did.
You give him an A?
I wouldn't give him an A. I'd give him about a B+.
Really?
Yeah, Shedeur gave himself a C+, so I'd give him about a B+. You know what I mean?
I didn't understand that, by the way. I like that he's hard on himself.
I like the fact that he's hard on himself.
Woo!
But to me, what I saw in that game was a quarterback that put to bed a lot of the narratives that was written and said about him.
Holds the ball too long.
As far as what the things that he couldn't do. I seen a guy that was out there commanding the huddle. I seen a guy that was out there relaying the terminology of the offense.
Did you guys
to his
watch
players.
the YouTube with the mic'd up?
Mm-hmm. I haven't watched it yet.
Watch it.
I seen that.
To me, he communicates like a fifth-year pro.
Yeah.
I seen that. I seen a guy that was able to elude pressure. I seen a guy that was able to read the defense and make the proper checks. I seen a guy that could direct his wide receivers. I seen a guy that was able to keep his eyes downfield at all times. I seen a guy that was able to command this team in the red zone. The Browns scored 16 red zone touchdowns all of last season. Every single time that he found himself in the red zone, this team scored a touchdown. You know, he didn't have many throws over 10 yards, but he was 5 of 7 for 93 yards and a touchdown on throws that was 10-plus yards. He sounded like a pro. He commanded himself like a pro. He threw some dimes out there. And even the play that
the first touchdown was in a window.
Even the play that he missed Dillon Sampson on. Like, I thought he did a great job of not really.
Well, didn't he scramble to set that up?
Yeah, but
so
he held the ball. He held the ball because he couldn't find anything open, and then he scrambled out and he seen him. He got a little excited. It was an overthrow. But to your point, he looked like a pro. He looked like a future franchise quarterback. He looks like that he has command of everything that's going on. And if I'm Shedeur Sanders, I woke up the next morning confident in myself and confident about this entire situation moving forward.
Man.
His legs, by the way, he's a better runner than a lot of people give him credit for.
That was another part.
Now, I don't want to set it up like he's going to be a scrambling quarterback. However, in this league, we've seen this. All you need is somebody that can buy an extra second, evade the rush, slide here, slide there. He moved in the pocket like he's been doing this at the NFL level for 3 years.
Feeling good, man. Hey, listen, if this was one of them shows you was wanted to pull up and you wanted to, temper the expectations and you want people to, give me the both sides of the testament to this, this ain't the place to be today.
I still want to temper. I still want to temper expectations. I don't want to say, I saw a lot of people saying, "Well, there's your starter."
No, we still got
that's overreach.
We still got some time.
Let's not put too much on the kid's plate.
I just want, when I saw him play Earl, I don't know what made me do this. I went and got in my car and I just played I'm the realest in it. You already know God Trapper.
Why'd you go in your car to play that?
4 times in a row. What they give you? I said yes. This is it.
Why did you go in your car to play that?
Because I
You're a
couldn't.
grown-ass man.
Like because
Play that in your house.
It hit harder in the car.
it hit hard.
Like it hit harder in the car. The speakers in the car hit harder than the ones in
small
the house.
confined space.
And you know what? I have to put out there. I just want to know. Like G. Bush doesn't condone everything that my wife does on the internet. She has come out as a CU auntie. I don't know if that's allowed.
Wow.
She says she's
That's
like,
allowed?
She's like, yes, Shedeur, we are all rooting for you in the Philippines. I am your CU
Wait,
auntie.
you got the Philippines behind
I
you
said,
now?
bro, you got a Philippine CU auntie. You got to run that by me,
Man,
bro.
listen, Emmett Smith was out there texting.
She should be the president of the Philippines.
Listen,
Sanders fan
Jamie
club.
Foxx was on social media.
Bro, it was like-
talking about it like
It was
the baby did a jersey change mid-game.
Hey, I was like, so if you doing the Jeezy thing, what did you give him? A. Yeah, I gotta give him an A on that one. He got money. You see the road. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what, man.
What's your grade?
A.
A plus? A minus? A.
I'm gonna give him an A minus.
How was it I have the highest grade for this guy?
Because he told me a C, but I will give you this. There was only 3 plays he like the one he had an overthrow. Okay, he ran around.
First one I check off. He
was excited.
Everybody overthrows their first
That's
pass.
cool.
And
Was it an overthrow?
It was, his first
Yeah.
one was an
Man, his
overthrow.
hands
It was
touched
high.
Yeah, it was high.
an overthrow,
His
it was
hands
high.
And, well, that's an overthrow. I mean, he overshot his target.
I thought it
That's
was a
usually,
drop.
but listen, that's what guys do.
And-
Tom Brady's done that in the Super Bowl. His first pass sailed on
He
him.
threw into traffic a little bit. I think it was the first couple of series, and it could have got intercepted. But listen, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I don't care.
No, yeah, we don't count the
We don't count
couldas.
though. The thing that I was most impressed with was, I told people, I said, listen, I stood on business. I said, listen, whoever is in that first team huddle is the ones. When you are looking for a franchise quarterback, the things that you're looking for, I said in my blog, I said, it's a difference between winning a war and then governing after you win the war. To be a franchise quarterback, you got to win the war, the battles
Well,
on
the
the
governing
field.
is the hard. Keeping the starting job is the hard part.
The governing is the hard
oh
part.
yeah, no question.
So yes, you could throw the touchdowns, but the governing starts with getting the backing of your soldiers. You saw Myles Garrett.
Sure.
You saw David Njoku. It's getting the backing of your coaching staff. It's Kevin Stefanski. And Kevin is like, okay, let's go out here and do your thing, right? Even when you look at him being mic'd up, the refs was, I said, have the refs ever talked like this? I don't believe the refs.
I know, guys,
I said, when did this start happening, Jay?
It's literally like one of them was starstruck.
The dude was like, here, he was like, here, Bubba,
Man,
come on.
can I get you to sign this real quick?
The refs, he's like, we're in this thing
crazy.
together. We're in this thing. I said, when did they start doing this?
I was really surprised by that, guys. I was surprised. Now, I don't know if he knew that he was mic'd up, and he wouldn't have said that if he knew he was mic'd up.
Don't hold that
And I know it's
against
a
us.
preseason game, but dang.
But the thing you said, the thing that really got me was, when you watch somebody in college, you expect them the game to be sped up. You expect them to be moving 1,000 miles an hour. It looked like he was not rushed. Oh, he was unbothered. He looked like he understood. Even when he was mic'd up, he said, "Hey guys,
We got Milrose spelled wrong. Just FYI.
we gonna make sure we gonna act like this is not sped up. It's slow for us. The
Right.
game is slow for us." And the pocket movement, he always Chase Daniels was talking about this in his critique. Earl, he was always looking downfield.
Yeah,
It wasn't no.
His eyes,
I'm
Man,
looking
checking off, too,
and
guys.
looking around
Checking the second and third receivers.
I said, I've seen a lot of number one overall picks not do that. And I'm saying that this is the end all be all, because like you said, this is a nice start. We want to build. We want to keep stacking. We always want to keep stacking.
Yes, grow.
Growth. This week is another challenge. But from what I saw, just him coming out there, being smooth, being calm, more athleticism than you thought. Remember, I was telling you, I said, listen, I want to see if he's one of them game time people.
But Pete, it was 2 plays to me that really, really stood out. And I'm glad that we had a game Thursday to compare it to. That 3rd and 9 when they went, empty set, 5 wides, and it was 5 rushers and man-to-man coverage. Shedeur identified the blitz right away and got out of there. Now, why is that impressive? Because he's a rookie quarterback. If you watch the Colts versus Ravens game on Thursday, Anthony Richardson was in a similar situation.
And missed it.
And he ain't know what the hell
We
was
talked
going
about that on Friday.
And so to me, it lets you know, okay, This dude takes advantage of every opportunity he gets, man. I always say, man, like, do something right now that your future self will thank you for. So that means despite whatever situation that Shedeur Sanders has been put in, he's taking advantage of it. That means his future self was already thanking him for the work he was doing behind the scenes when everybody was complaining about whatever, and he knew he was going to ball. There are certain people that don't need perfect situations to go out there and produce, and he showed what he can do. And the fact that he went first and balled out, the ball is in everybody else's court now.
There it is.
Well, we've already got some more hay in the barn in terms of reps and practices. Sean Dunnigan, who's our Channel 3, one of our Channel 3 sports producers upstairs and sports photographer, has texted us saying they started at 9:30 today. Best the offense has looked all camp.
All 4 QBs.
You want to hear that?
Yep.
All 4 quarterbacks, he said. So they all looked great. You don't think he put a little pressure on the other guys? They saw what he did.
We'll get to the reps in a second.
No 11.
Don't read the next part yet. Save that for the next. Because we're going to do a whole. Before people know exactly how it happens, I want to know if that's how you would have handled it.
Okay.
But I want to ask one more question on Shedeur before we read the next part.
1 second.
I want to get to
the second play. The second play that really stood out. You peep how the game started. The first 6 snaps was out of shotgun. So that said, okay, Kev, he going to put him in some familiar situations and get him comfortable. As soon as Shedeur caught rhythm, Kev started playing around. When he came from, when he went under center, came play action pass on that bang 8 in that third quarter, that was it.
Yeah,
that was it right
there. It was
there.
on the money.
That was it right there.
And there's, I guess the second most impressive thing I would throw, the third was they're in shotgun. They're in the shadow of the own goal line. He's in the end zone dropping back.
He hit Gage on that play.
He hit Gage on a 20-plus yard in route. And, Chase Daniel was talking about it. He's like, listen, as a quarterback, your landmark when you throw that, you want to throw that 2 yards outside of the hash. He said he was about 1.5 yards. But the impressive part was he had a lot of garbage on his feet. He had a rusher that was in his face, one below the waist, one above his hands with it. And he said, he just let that thing go. He let it go on time, and they made a great catch. He said that is a NFL style throw.
I'm just happy for him. He talked about he had fun. He got the opportunity to play. He talked about having the responsibility to lead the troops. And was it a perfect performance? No, but it's one hell of a building block. And I woke up feeling damn good about the Cleveland Browns possibly having a franchise quarterback. I think, and I've said this before, I think he's QB2 to me behind Joe Flacco. And I think that Joe Flacco is a great mentor for him. And I think at some point during the season, Shedeur Sanders is going to take over and take off. I could be totally wrong, but that's how I feel.
It's hard for me because everybody was talking about Friday, like, okay, is he 2? Is he 3? Well, the problem here is we didn't see the other guys, so we don't know. We don't know. Dillon Gabriel could go out in his first start or his first play, and he could go 15 of 17 and pull a Jackson Dart.
A lot of the rookie quarterbacks look good this weekend.
They did, but some of them looked awful bad, too. There were a couple that I'm like, what the heck? Did someone put a bag over his head before he went out there? But the quarterbacks look good. I sent a text to a guy who used to coach in the league, no longer coaches, and I said, what are you looking for from a first-time quarterback? And he said, it's like what I said about the first box check. You're going to see the most basic, rudimentary defenses that you're going to see. But you can't get to the next level unless you pass that test. There were rookies that went out there and didn't look like they were facing basic defenses. They were missing basic pickups, basic reads. They looked like the game was sped up too much. That was, to me, the most impressive thing about Shedeur. If you listed all of his attributes, to me, it was how he processed the time. That's the thing that all the rookie quarterbacks struggle with because it's so much quicker than college. Now, I get that he's not going to face, heavy blitz packages and exotic defenses. I understand that. And that's why I am going to say I don't want to run the cart in front of the horse. But there were guys that went out there this weekend and have done it every first weekend in the NFL that didn't have that ability, that still looked like they were way behind. His mental clock was appropriately adjusted. He didn't rush things. I thought he held the ball an appropriate amount of time. There were times he got to his third look. And that takes time. And a lot of guys think, well, I'll never get past 2, especially when I first start. But, is he too big? Was the moment too big for him? No. Absolutely not.
I'm glad you brought that up, though, about his processing, because we heard a bunch of BS that his processing was slow, and in real time, that's a real game action right there. Like,
well, because in college he held the ball too long.
Yeah, but
that was fair criticism in college.
But you have to. This is where you got to give Shedeur credit that in the short amount of time, what he's been here, 4 months, and the 4 months that he's been a member of the Cleveland Browns, whatever he's been challenged to work on or grow at, he seems to have taken that and he's ran with it.
Yes.
And so all I'm saying is that's a great point by you, because his processing didn't look like he was a slow processor at all.
No.
He was going through his progressions like like a veteran quarterback. And so for everybody that was, that's one of the narratives that I was talking about.
Right.
Hopefully he's put some of that stuff to bed.
Well, the other one was, and we touched on this already, the other one was that, he was a little slow of foot, or he wasn't quick. Like, I don't need him to be
Lamar Jackson.
RG3 or Lamar Jackson. We don't need that. You really don't, especially the way the NFL is, I say dumbed down, but the way the league works now, even Patrick Mahomes, everybody's taking, short routes.
They was just trying to make it seem like he was Jeff Blake, and he ain't Jeff Blake.
No, not at all. There were guys that said, I heard one of the criticism of coming out of college was he's actually slow.
Stop.
He's not slow.
He's not slow.
He's not slow. Bernie
He's
Kosar
just
was
not
slow.
Deion.
He's Deion's kid.
Which is why
And the problem with that's a double-edged sword. People expect Deion quickness. He doesn't have Deion quickness.
Nobody
But
does.
you don't need it. You don't like that. Okay, that's
Like
when you go to
1% of the world.
Well, when you have that, you go to the next dimension. Why
Yeah,
is
right.
Lamar Jackson? Because he has that next level
Right.
with his feet. Like, if he was not blessed with that speed, he would not be the passer he is. He's a better passer because of his threat to run the ball. DBs have to keep him correct and keep honest. Linebackers can't always drop back as easily. They got to babysit him. Defensive coordinators are not going to build their game plan around keeping him in the pocket. However, he's also not the guy that a lot of people advertised. A lot of people said he can't run. And I think he put that to bed. I mean, I know it's one game, but he slid the pocket well. He rolled to his left as well as he rolled to his right. Mm-hmm. And so I thought he did so many things well that I can't wait to get to see him again. And also, because we have to be careful here, we haven't seen the other guys. We haven't seen the other guys. And from all indications, Joe is going to get the start.
We're going to get that.
He's going to be the starting quarterback in week one. And that to me, I've been saying all along, if they go with the best guy, it's Joe Flacco. But what does Dillon Gabriel look like? So are we going to get to this topic here?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do right now.
Okay.
We're going to get to it after a quick word from FanDuel. Guys, August 26th, mark it on your calendars. It's officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For that 24-hour day, August 26th, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL preseason predictions. So whether you're calling for the MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week one even kicks off, this is your moment. So you want to take a flyer on Lamar Jackson to get an MVP shot, Mahomes taking it back, August 26th on FanDuel is the place to do it. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now, because Futures Day is a one-day and one-day only special. FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of UCSS. FanDuel, play your game. So the question I wanted to ask is, based off how Shedeur played on Friday against the Panthers, and because we didn't see any of the other quarterbacks in the quarterback battle, would that be enough for Sanders to jump Gabriel on the depth chart? How would you, if you were Kevin Stefanski, handle the quarterback rep division this week? We got early practice today, so we actually did get a little inside look at how Stefanski wouldn't give any actual answers when asked who's going to start, how they're going to divvy up reps. He said the joint practices against Philadelphia, those reps will go mostly to the starters for week one. And the guys who aren't starters in week one will play more in the actual preseason game. But as far as today's order of quarterback reps go, this is from Daniel Oyefusi of ESPN Cleveland, who was out there. He said, quote, "That's it for Browns training camp practice number 12. One of the better days collectively from the quarterbacks. Flacco took every first-team rep on 11 on 11s. Gabriel and Sanders alternated reps with the 2s and the 3s. Pickett did participate in 7 on 7s, did not do 11 on 11s, but worked with the starters in those 7 on 7 drills again." So this is the first time, really, G, that we have seen, I don't want to call it a significant change because the guy running mostly with the ones hasn't changed, but it does seem, according to all reports from the people out there, Sean Dunnigan also texted us, Jay, and let us know that Shedeur went ahead of Gabriel in certain 11-on-11 situations, to where it wasn't always Gabriel first and then Sanders. It seemed like a pretty even mix between those two today. Is that how you would have handled it if you were Kevin Stefanski?
Yup. And people might be surprised to it. Because here's what I said from Jump Street. I said what Shedeur Sanders is, he put that pressure on everybody. He really made it a competition. Y'all said it was a competition. They put him out there. He was throwing the trash cans the week before, throwing the support staff. People was mad because he wasn't getting no reps with the ones. But I was like, listen, nah, bro. If it's a competition, I want to see you go out there with 10 other hungry dogs and cook. He did that. So now, if it's a competition and I'm going to go by the letter of the law that you stated, I want to see Dillon Gabriel. I want to see the supercomputer at work. I want to see it. I want to see that strong arm. I want to see me turn my phone off because I don't got no money for y'all today. But
that's a rookie mistake.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Listen,
undrafted free agents.
Steve's gonna take some reps away. Steve, I willfully give up some reps tomorrow.
Remember the movie Friday Night Lights? Back on running back couldn't find his helmet.
Yes, exactly. Hey,
there you go.
Remember when the credit, someone called asking for your credit report?
Oh yeah. He was like, oh yeah, they wanted some. That was a crazy.
He took
scene.
it live on air.
I took it live on air. He was like, yeah,
one of the greatest moments.
You want to
in
do that
UCSS
payment?
history.
Yeah, I paid y'all off.
I was working at the clerk of course. I was watching that, and then my boss walked past like, you put your phone away.
But I will say, I want to see what Dillon got. Because here's the thing. There's a reason why that competition looked the way it do in practice today. When somebody else step up and go first, he put Jackson Dart, Tyler Shook, everybody. Cam Ward came out looking like he's like, oh, I'm tired of hearing about this 12 over there in Cleveland. Listen, I'm the number one pick. I need to throw me some footballs and look like I'm competent. Everybody got to step their game up. Now what I want to see Dillon Gabriel get his shot.
Yes.
I want to see what he can do. And then we're gonna go back like it's the episode of the Cosby's challenge.
Hey, so to answer Mike's question, if this is how I would have done it, I have no problem with him splitting, but Shedeur would have went ahead of Dillon Gabriel for me. I don't know if it was like that all the time, because I just go back to what Tyvis said. When you're in the tub, you can't get in the club. And the fact that he was in the tub while Shedeur was out there in the club balling, then that to me warrants, okay, when we get back out here Monday,
if all things are equal, healthy guy gets the nod.
So to me, he would have went ahead of Dillon. I have no problem with them sharing the rep share, but if I was Kevin Stefanski, I would have had Shedeur ahead of him. I'm with G, I'm with you. I want to see Dillon go out there and get his opportunity to show what he can do. I've said this before. Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski have identified him as their guy. He was drafted with a top 100 pick. So it's up to Dillon Gabriel to go out there and prove that they were right with drafting him with a pick that high. Shedeur Sanders being able to get the opportunity to go first, and then you look at all the circumstances that surrounded it, that's a lot of pressure on Dillon Gabriel, on Kenny Pickett, or anybody else for that matter, not named Joe Flacco, because here it is, he was getting limited reps. He finds out the week that, in this week that he's going to be the starting quarterback. You know that Carolina is going to play their starters even for a little bit, and this is a big unknown of how he's going to go out there and produce. And here it is, he goes out here and he balls out. Like, that's a lot of pressure. So you got to go out there if you Dillon and try to at least match what he did.
Here's the best part of what happened Friday night. It's not about one guy. It's not. A lot of people were like, great for Shedeur. Great for him. Great for the Browns, and here's why. We had talked about different scenarios that could possibly come up. Mm-hmm. One of them was Gabriel's not him and Shedeur's not him. That's a nightmare, okay? That's a nightmare because now you know that even before the season starts, you are still looking for your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay? Now, I don't know that we're going to have the answers by week one. In fact, let me go definitively on record. We will not. Go back and look. We were talking about DTR's preseason play and how he was a preseason Super Bowl winner.
He was so good, they traded Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
He won the preseason, okay? And right now, he still is the worst quarterback ever to play in the NFL if you go by touchdown to interception ratio.
That's why.
He's thrown 1 touchdown, 10 picks. Now, he was the champion of the preseason. So We always have to keep that in mind. You can look great in the preseason. It's happened many times, and you can fall flat on your face. Mm-hmm. But one of the scenarios was neither one of them looks good in the preseason, and we know by week 1 we don't really have to see them because we've seen enough to know they're not him. What hasn't happened yet is no one has eliminated themselves.
Facts.
There are rookie quarterbacks. There was a 7th rounder that was like 0 for 5 with 3 picks or something. I don't even know who it was. I looked at all the rookie grades for the rookie quarterbacks.
I watched a lot of football.
And I'm like, how do you throw 3 interceptions in your first game?
Who was the guy mailman from Georgia?
Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett played. I think he came in and played with the Rams. He looked through like 5 picks.
No, he had 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
No. I'm talking about his debut like last year.
Last year.
Here's all of the rookies that played. And they ranked them, CBS did this, they ranked them in order of performance. Jackson Dart was 1, Shedeur Sanders was 2. This dude, Graham Mertz, for the Texans.
He was so bad in college.
He threw 3 picks. Like,
he played for Wisconsin and Florida.
He was a 6th round draft pick. Now, this is a guy who you can probably say, yeah, probably not it.
No.
Probably not it. 3 picks, no touchdowns. He had 27 yards passing. My God. Then I saw this tweet from this guy in CBS, embedded it in the article. Graham Mertz has no business in the NFL, even in the 4th quarter of a preseason game. His numbers were equally atrocious. What you can figure out is, you can't figure out if he's the guy, but sometimes you can figure out, no, he's not.
Yes.
And so here's the best thing that happened Friday night. We know that the guy that the Browns had last on their depth chart, we know that their number 4 stepped in and played very good football. Now, if their judging is right of who they have, that means they have 3 quarterbacks on their roster that are better than that.
Yeah.
Team win. Team win for the Cleveland Browns. Because you don't win in the NFL without a good quarterback. What if you have 3 good quarterbacks? You know, what if they have a scenario here? And that's why Dillon Gabriel, I can't wait to see what he does. I hope he's healthy. I hope he gets good reps in the
he
joints.
Better be healthy.
And I hope he plays the first half. Give him the whole first half. I want to see, and then here's the other thing too. We know Flacco's sitting there and he's the likely starter. We know he's the guy that with his hands firmly on the wheel. But the other thing we don't know about is Kenny Pickett. There was all this talk that Kenny Pickett was 1 before he got hurt. So the good news here is, if this is what 4 looks like, all of a sudden we have our quarterback room is filled with riches.
It's scary.
Let's get it on.
This is scary hours for Kenny Pickett. Let me tell you why. It's getting spooky outside. It's getting real late quick. Because if your assessment is correct, and Dillon Gabriel comes out against the world champion Philadelphia Eagles, and he plays the first half, and he's playing against the ones, and he balls out, I don't need to see nothing from Kenny Pickett.
Well, they're going to still look at him. I mean, he was 1 on their depth chart.
I do agree with Gito. I got 2 rookies that I just drafted on rookie deals.
So here's what you're saying. You walk into the convenience store, you say, give me 4 lottery tickets. You scratch 1, it's 10,000. You're going to throw one of the other ones away?
No. You scratch 1, it was 10,000. The second one was 15,000.
Okay, so you're going to throw the third one away?
No, I might keep that for later on. I'm going to tuck that away, and I'm going to
I want to see what I want to see. Here's the thing. Somebody's calling him Cleveland Kenny, and I go, what's that supposed to mean? And he goes, well, you're going off Pittsburgh Pickett. I'm going to judge him off Cleveland Kenny, because the whole idea here is, if it was true that Canada was the worst offensive coordinator in the history of offensive coordinators, and if you go ask Pittsburgh Steelers fans, they'll tell you that he was. Everybody's saying you need to bulk erase your mind on what Kenny Pickett was in Pittsburgh, because that's not who he is. Okay, well, Kevin Stefanski brought him in first. He was the first guy here. Kevin Stefanski's looking at him and saying, I can make him Cleveland Kenny. Hey. I can do something with this. So the last thing you're going to do, man, is not give him a fair and equal shot. Give him a half. He'll play this preseason.
Zay, you're not wrong, but bro, here's the problem.
I'm not going to not look at it.
But you're not wrong. But we all 3 of us know this is the reality. It's August 11th.
Yeah.
Like.
But we've got 2 preseason
I
games
get
left.
it, man, but it just seems like we are getting, like you just said,
It's
we are
getting
getting
late.
close. It's getting late. We're getting closer.
Absolutely.
You got to start stabilizing.
So what's
okay,
the alternative? Like if Dillon goes out, balls out, you release him?
No.
I don't.
This
is what happened when you got 5 or 6 quarterbacks in camp.
Well,
man.
realistically, there's 4.
If you got two,
and they could keep all 4.
It just seemed like he the odd man now.
Herm Edwards.
It just seems like the situation has changed, and it just seems like to
Okay,
me,
well, let me ask you this.
He's the odd man
What
out.
if Pickett had played Friday in place of Sanders
We
and
may have-
balled out?
we may have
Would you
known.
then be saying we don't need to see
The
Sanders?
world
No,
may
because
never know.
Andrew Berry draft. And I get it, he traded for him, but like Andrew Berry, we've seen over his tenure, his draft picks are going to get an opportunity to show what they can
Well,
do. I don't think Kenny Pickett plan would have changed anything with the rookies at all because he drafted those dudes.
Well, he signed Pickett, was his first quarterback in camp.
I hear that.
You got to see what you have there.
I just feel like the situation's changed.
No, I disagree 100%.
Let me give y'all an analogy.
You're going to see what you have in this guy.
Let me give you an analogy. Listen, man. Once upon a time, G. Bush was married, and I wasn't no more. I got on this internet. I was like, listen, this is great. I was like, yo, you set up these first dates, so you got about 5 first dates you're going on. Mm-hmm. Then some of them make them to the second date, right? Then some of them make it to the third date. Now, this is very expensive, so you shouldn't try this at home. But at some point in time,
you pay for all of that.
You got to pay for all of them,
Come
bro.
on, man.
They know who you is, bro. Okay. So at some point in time, you going through these first dates, you realizing, well, I didn't already move past this one, and then I got the second dates over here. And then I'm like, man, by the time you get to the 4th date, people is not trying to hear what you're talking about. They're like, we together or not. But here's the thing. Sometimes when you meet somebody on that first date, you just know. And you're like, oh, listen, them on the second date, then the third date, I got to call them and let them know.
So you don't even give?
No.
So here's what's wrong with that analogy. The 5 first dates that you set up originally. Mm-hmm. Are you talking about you're going to go on one date and then cancel 2, 3?
No, I'm saying
you're going to go on a first date with all of them, right?
I'm saying some people have already made it past the first date. Some is on the 3rd date. Some
right,
people have made it to the second.
But he's advocating you're not even getting the first date.
Well, here's the.
I like you enough that you're not getting the first date.
No, I like somebody else so much that I ain't got no time to be worried about you.
So then you would cancel. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So if you went on date number 1 with girl number 1, you would cancel dates 1 with 2, 3, 4, and 5. You just call them up and say, I got my girl?
No, here's the thing.
He said if I like her that much.
If I like her that much.
No, you got to like her that much. You got to love her that much.
Well, there it is. Well, that's the thing about
you
time.
You got to know there's no one that can be better than her.
There was time where you get to a point. Now, listen, that was game 1. Now, if you get, so you went on the second date. You won with Dillon Gabriel on his first date, right? So you're looking around, you say, listen, I picked him. I went on the dating app and said, I want Shedeur.
That was the first date you set up.
And I went Dillon. But draft is different from free agent.
Not really.
You're attached to that.
I mean, for the Cleveland Browns, the moves are the moves.
You take them in the third.
You bring them in, because we didn't have draft picks for so many years.
That's why they're
important.
Of the draft,
you better hit on your free agents.
You covet these picks. You know Andrew Berry covets.
Think about this. Michael Woods was one of the players this year that was released due to an injury designation. He's been hurt every year.
Yeah.
He's been on this roster every year. That's an Andrew Berry draft pick.
Yeah.
Andrew Berry is not going – he's vested in his draft picks. I don't think
but you are your free agents, too. Like, you don't bring in free agents. He was the first quarterback in the room, guys. You can't, under any circumstance, you cannot give Kenny Pickett a look. You can't not give him a look.
Here's what's going on.
You can't. He's going to get looks.
Let me ask you this.
He was 1.
So let me ask you this. Here's the way I think it's going to pop off. I think Dillon Gabriel going to get some first-team reps, and he may play at half. Kenny Pickett not going to play. Joe Flacco not going to play.
Oh, I disagree with that. If he's healthy,
so you think they're going to get the joint practice reps then, the majority of them?
I don't think Kenny going to play either.
I think Flacco
it comes down to this with Kenny. Can he play? That's it.
If he's
healthy, he is playing.
I don't know if he's going to be healthy. I don't know.
That's a different issue.
But
if he's not, you're certainly not going to cut him before the third preseason game.
Listen, that's why I told you when you said
no way.
You told Kenny, you said, no, Kenny, you good. I said, don't you listen to Jay Crawford. You might want to get your hamstring back out there.
I still think he's good. I'm not changing my tune. I still think Kenny is good. He is in good standing with the Browns.
Until when?
Until he plays poorly.
Okay, hold on. I think
they're not going to not play him and cut him. They're not going to do that.
If Dillon Gabriel comes out here this first half and he plays well,
yes,
and then they run Shedeur back in the second half,
Yes.
and he
Plays well,
cooks,
Yeah.
it's done.
So you cut him before the third preseason game?
No, they're going to have to figure out somewhere to go.
They gonna have it do something.
Guys, now you've lost your mind.
No, I'm just saying. I don't, because
Here's what the talk is, and this is scary to me because, and I've asked people that know this. I'm talking roster construction people that tell me this. My school of thought is you cannot carry 4 quarterbacks. Every time I tell someone that's experienced in this league, they say, well, sure you can.
You think the Eagles?
Sure you can. And I'm told by somebody that we all know and trust that that's likely what's going to happen.
You think the Eagles is good?
Yeah.
You think the Eagles good?
The Super Bowl champs.
If Dillon Gabriel come out here or Shedeur Sanders, whatever's first, and they cook.
You're cutting. You're cutting.
No, I'm just. What I'm saying is, if they cook, that is to me, that puts you at a position where Dillon didn't even play the whole preseason yet. He been hurt.
Well, this was one game he's missed.
I'm just saying, it's the Eagles.
The whole season he's missed. The whole season.
Hey, that's half his life. He only been in the league 4 months.
Hey, I'm with G. The rookies go out there and they split that game up and they both cook against
I
Philly.
just saw
You guys know enough about this.
But Jay,
this is where we get. This is where Cleveland gets battered. Right here. I'm gonna give you an example.
How?
This is why sometimes we get battered. Because you saw the meme about the Browns are going to retire Shedeur's number. That is a poke at us. It's not a poke at Shedeur Sanders.
But we talk about Dillon
That's
Gabriel.
a poke at us.
We
No, I
talk
know.
about Dillon.
But this is what I'm trying to explain to you why nationally we get battered when we say things like this.
I don't care about
We
Dillon
don't need to look at a 3-year pro because our rookie looked good in one preseason game. That's nonsense. You know it is.
I don't think it is.
Know it is.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. This is why I don't think it is, right? Kenny right now is dealing with a soft tissue injury. There's no guarantee that Kenny is going to be healthy.
Kenny's practicing today. You know that.
And 708, I know that.
Okay,
707s, no
right.
11 on 11s,
That's
individuals
okay.
and 707s.
That's okay.
If that continues to be the case, that tells me that the hamstring is something that's an issue. So let's say, like, hypothetically.
Even if it is, you're
just hear me out. Hypothetically, if it's an issue, right, as we getting closer and closer to the regular season, some things stabilize themselves without it being a thing. These are the breaks. This the NFL. If you get hurt, sometimes you don't get an opportunity to show what you can do because you got hurt. Yeah,
I
was the
agree
first
with that.
quarterback here.
Luke Floria, I agree with that. You're an undrafted free agent.
But he was traded for what, like DTR and the 5?
but
But it's not even like the capital was all
Right.
right.
Did we just get done talking about how bad DTR was?
Yes,
and they
like,
traded
But it
him
was
for
the first move they made. Like, they didn't even bring in Joe Flacco until after they brought in Kenny Pickett. So what I'm saying is, this is where we have to go slow. We're talking about, Kenny Pickett was 1 on the depth chart. Everybody agree with that? Jason sat here week after week after week, and he said, I know you guys might not like it, but Kenny Pickett is
So if
number
he healthy,
1
you think
on
he
the
still
depth
won?
chart. When the number 1 quarterback on your team suffers a hamstring strain that doesn't keep, he's practicing, you're going to be cautious with it because he's your number 1. But then you have your rookie quarterback plays good for 2.5 quarters, whatever he played. Now you're already thinking about divorcing yourself from a guy who's got experience in the league.
We're saying this week going forward that if the rookies play well this week, then the conversation is different.
So
what you're
2
saying
good
is,
rookie preseason games and you're going to cut a
So
veteran.
Jay, do you believe that if he's fully healthy, he goes back to QB1?
I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't in terms of, because I think their depth chart, by the way, has not looked like what I think it should look like. I thought Joe Flacco is the best quarterback on this roster. I don't care how hard you squint and try to convince yourself otherwise. Joe Flacco's better than Kenny Pickett. In my rankings, I have always said Flacco, and then Jason will sit there and say, well, they're not trying to win games. Well, now that's a different story.
It is.
If you're trying to figure out, if the sole mission of this season is to figure out if either of these 2 rookies are the guy, then all bets are off. And quite frankly, logic won't apply to a lot of these discussions that we're having. Because normally, everything is rooted in winning. And somehow we've gotten to a place in Cleveland where that's not the case anymore. I don't like that.
That's one person's opinion. Here's what I'm going to say.
But don't you feel like it's not just Jason, that a lot of other people, when they come on this show, national guests, they go, oh, well, the Browns aren't trying to win this year.
Well, here's the thing, man.
Like, I don't want to hear that talk. I don't want any wasted seasons.
You are 100% in agreement with. I don't want to hear it, and I don't believe that the Cleveland Browns is approaching this season that way.
I hope not.
And I think
tell me they are.
One of the things that you start to get to is I've always said it. What happens on this dang on field matters. It ain't about what you thought in your head or what you think the Browns are doing 5 to 10 years from now. What I'm looking at and evaluating is what you do on that practice field, what you do in these game reps, what you do when you get the opportunity.
Right.
If Shedeur Sanders is continually putting tape out like that, here's the problem. When people say, I don't want the circus to come to town, what they mean is, I don't want the accountability. Because circus ain't got nothing to do with it. When you play well, people take notice. Then people take notice and say, hey, that guy can play. Then they say, oh, we're going to hold you accountable. If we look at other people and they're not as good, we're going to say, why aren't you playing that guy over here? People say that's a circus. No, that's accountability. This is the way the game works. So now people see he can play. If he goes out 2 weeks in a row against one of the best teams in the game, in a second preseason game.
Does it matter what personnel play for Philly? Like if he goes out and balls out against Philly's twos.
Hey, Philly's twos is better than the wild ones.
No,
Philly's defensive line. Philly twos defensive line. They starters elsewhere.
Philly's secondary is
what was Philly's score in their opener?
I don't know.
In the preseason,
they won. They scored a lot of points.
At least to me, at least in the trenches, they defensive line, a lot of they twos are starters on other teams.
I want to see. The hypotheticals don't work well for me. Here's what I need to see. I need to see all these guys, except for Joe Flacco. I don't need to see Joe Flacco in a preseason game. You learn nothing from that. What I need to learn is if Shedeur Sanders can look that good in his rookie game in the Kevin Stefanski offense, I damn well am going to see what Kenny Pickett can look like. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I don't know why anybody wants to wave a white flag on any of these quarterbacks. They're lottery tickets. Remember? Bring them all in. It's a competition. I got to see more.
Can I say
more.
I have never been a believer in Kenny Pickett as a lottery ticket.
I haven't either.
As a viable quarterback.
I have not either.
I asked every single person, whether it was Mary Kay, whether it was Jason. I said, Jay, what are you seeing?
Aditi talks about him like he.
I'm trying to figure out which film work he was walking on water. He was tap dancing on people.
I said that when he was drafted. Why did they draft him in the first round?
I tried.
But here's what we have to see.
I'll look at him.
I have to see him in Kevin Stefanski's offense.
Get that hamstring together, dog. You might want to come.
We'll end it with this, G.
So I forgot what did Sean say that did he just work 7-7s?
Pickett is doing 7-on-7s.
Okay.
Stefanski said he's progressing nicely, not ready for 11-on-11s yet. That may change by Wednesday for joint practice. As of right now, Kevin Stefanski
and quite frankly, because to me all preseason games are not created equal. Because of the way teams use their starters and not use their starters. I am perfectly fine with him sitting on the sideline, not doing anything this week in the joints or in the game against Philly. But here's what I am going to do. Game number 3, it's all you.
Oh, you say?
Yeah.
I can't believe you.
What?
Wait, okay.
Don't do that.
No.
Kitty.
No.
Don't do that.
What? You going to cut him?
No. Jay, so this is you, bro. So you telling me that if he does nothing the rest of practice, he don't play in this game, right?
Yeah.
You got one game left.
Yes.
So most of that is Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco's not playing.
Joe gonna play game 3.
Joe's not playing in game 3.
I think Joe gonna play game 3.
I'm told Joe Flacco's not playing this preseason.
I think Joe gonna walk in there like, hey, Kev, you got me, you know what.
Okay, so I think it hasn't been decided, but this is what I was told. I'll fall down if Joe Flacco takes a preseason snap. Mm-hmm. That's what I was told.
I think Joe gonna cuss Kevin out if he don't get none.
And here's the thing, even if he does, you play him in there for one quarter, let him get up. But Joe's fine. Joe, I don't need to see Joe Flacco. I know what Joe Flacco is.
Another hypothetical?
Here's what I need to see, guys.
You need to see Kitty.
I need to see Dillon.
But what if?
And I need to see more of Shedeur.
I ain't worried about seeing Dillon and Shedeur, but what if it becomes a situation to where Kenny don't get healthy enough to
You're going to push him out there before he's ready?
No, but what if he don't get ready?
So then you're going to cut him before game 3.
What if he don't get ready?
Listen, if he doesn't get ready, that's a totally different argument.
Here's what I'm going to say,
Under no circumstances anybody said he's not going to be ready.
Are we going to cut him? Sure as hell we'll cut him. Yes.
God, I'm sorry.
Peace out.
I'm sorry, Browns fans.
We got the veteran.
I really am.
If I got a veteran, if I got the veteran that I already think is better than the veteran that
I got 2 rookies,
and I got 2 rookies, yeah, we rolling with that.
Bye, Kenny.
You know who's not getting cut?
God, I'm sorry, Browns fans.
I'm sorry, dog. I told you.
I'm very
we
sorry.
got to bookmark this show because at the final rosters, us three going to be like.
Oh, this show will be bookmarked. This show will be bookmarked.
I can't wait.
Because you guys, I'm not as surprised. Really, I'm more surprised. I think with G, but I know you're the king of knee jerk and you're self-professed. But bro,
I'm saying the same thing to you. I can't believe you.
No. What you're advocating here is
he better get healthy.
Taking a 2-year starter in the NFL with a plus touchdown to interception ratio with the worst offensive coordinator. And I don't need to look at them.
I got Joe Flacco. I got 2 promising rookies.
Promising rookies. Now let how many times?
I like that. That was good.
No,
we can't even promise.
Here's why that's awful. Here's why that's awful.
Earl Cookie.
Do you want me to list the name of promising rookies that are sacking groceries right now?
No, I get it. I was here. I seen it.
It's just too much.
Listen.
This is why we take so much heat, guys.
Guys, promising rookies is something we can at least agree on the defensive side.
Promising rookie is an oxymoron.
I love that.
It's really an oxymoron.
We're going to get to 2 other rookies we haven't talked about after a quick word from Game Time. We've all been there, logging on, waiting on tickets while your app just spins in circles. You missed the best deals. Well, thankfully with Game Time, that'll never happen again. Game Time makes getting tickets to live events, concerts, shows, whatever, faster than ever, and you can save up to 60% with their killer last-minute deals. Take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets and show tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download the Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
I put that under the Donovan Mitchell's the greatest cab of all time in that same
We will revisit that later, one way or another. But
that's literally how I bookmarked it.
Mason Graham and Carson Schwesinger both looked very, very good in their debuts against Carolina as well. In just 13 snaps, Schwesinger had 6 tackles, 4 solo, and Mason Graham, although didn't necessarily jump off the stat sheet, he was able to, and we have some film from the All-22 that shows he's eating up blocks, getting off blocks, causing quarterbacks to move in the pocket. I thought
Mason Graham?
Initially,
I want to hear what G has to say.
G, you go
I
first.
thought he looked good at times.
Hey, listen.
I'm afraid we could be misusing him.
Yeah. Listen. The goal of what Mason Graham is, he looks a lot different than Myles Garrett out there. If you watch this, I like this play because he basically just destroyed the play. Like, he was backside on that play. He destroyed, pushed the guy in the hole. That's a double team right there. Spilled off late. Okay, I like that. The thing about defensive tackles is you're not going to see that level of production from that. Right here, he's got 2 guys on him. But when you got Myles Garrett in the backfield, he'll never get double teamed. Your goal is to have a guy that could push the pocket on pass rush downs, and that's where he's going. You'll see the splash plays. But if they're running the football, you might not see that.
Are you concerned that, and I know this happened many times in the NFL, and it's gone both ways, where you go from read and react to attack. Mm-hmm. My concern with him is he was so good in the read and react. And now you're asking him to do something completely different. I'm surprised Schwartz actually took him because Schwartz is an attack guy. He wants his guys on the attack. The thing that I thought was his superpower at Michigan was his ability to stand up and just almost like a linebacker playing on the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he can't adjust. I did see some positive things. Mm-hmm. I did. I thought he moves well. I thought his reaction was good for the most part. He was such a good read and react guy.
So what you're seeing is they play this 2-gap system where he'll move laterally, right? And then he has this crazy quickness inside the tackles and inside the guards where he can arm over a move. Or there were times when you watched Ohio State tape, They just couldn't. He was just too
Couldn't
quick.
handle him. Could not handle him.
It wasn't the power that was pushing him back. It was like the quickness and short direction and redirect.
His
clause is like a running back. I think it's, you know how when a good running back gets the ball and his first instinct isn't always to hit the hole. His first instinct is to smell and see where the hole is and then go. And he was to me, he was the defensive equivalent of that, especially against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Ohio State has basically 2 first-round running backs. Okay. They couldn't do anything against their run game. He was a big reason for it.
It's an adjustment period because it's a different skill set. So when you two gapping, this is crazy. You're actually reading not the guy over you. You're reading the guy next to him.
Right.
So if I'm over the 3 technique, I'm looking at the center and I'm looking at the tackle, and they'll tell me where the football is going to go. And then I can take my step, and I may need to redirect and get in the backfield. But that's where he was great at, his instincts and his quickness off his redirect.
Well, isn't most of it, though, assignment-oriented, where at Michigan it wasn't? You know, at Michigan he was almost like a free safety, where he was reading what the offense was doing and then making his own decision in real time. And he's fast enough to do that.
Well, no.
But I feel like with the Schwartz defense, he'll have specific assignments that he'll have to carry out, and I feel like that might take away his superpower of read and react.
Well, no, I think it's the opposite. I think when you're talking about defensive line play, Jim Schwartz is going to say, listen, what I want you to do is I want you to just wreak havoc. I want you have this gap, but we're going to have you get in the race or stance and get upfield and cause havoc. Now, to a lot of people, that's a lot less responsibility. I don't have to worry about getting reached or cut off. Or I got this A-gap responsibility and I can't get cut off backside because it'll hit here. Or I can't get reached and double team. I can't get pushed to the linebacker. Those are the things he had to worry about in Michigan.
Can we play some of his, do we have some of his Michigan tape?
Yeah, we just played.
Yeah, you want it against Ohio State?
Yeah, I thought he did it really well against us. And what was crazy was, as I'm watching the game, I'm screaming, why aren't we running the ball more? Well, they had figured out early that they couldn't.
You can't get that
and
off.
they did try to come back to it. But
these are his best plays. This was
okay, let's see this. And G, what I'm most interested in. God dang.
See, he has that gap. He just beat the guy.
Bama.
That's just absolute.
He has that gap. So he right here, right there, hands. Ooh. Now he crossed over the center's face and made the play, but he has a gap responsibility. He's just
see right there. He's almost like a linebacker.
Like
he's like standing up, saying, "Which way are you going to go? I've got you."
The arm over move, right? They try to double team him. He splits a good job of splits a double team. He's doing a lot of good things on a lot of different things. Right here, he's just faster.
Ohio State tape.
He's just faster than him. He has that gap. He moved inside. He's just faster, quicker. That's a really good play because they try to block back on him. He uses his hands to get a guy off of him. See, that's a nice move.
Quick hands, quick feet.
If you look at it right now, though, like I seen him warming up before the Carolina game.
That's a great play.
He looked like he lost a few pounds. He looks a lot quicker on his feet.
He's lost 10 pounds.
Yeah, he looks quicker on his feet than what he was. But I go back to last year when Andrew Berry drafted Mike Hall Jr., and he talked about how they were revitalizing how they were using their interior pass rushers. They wanted guys that were quick enough and strong enough to be able to create pressure and collapse the pocket.
Which is important.
Right. And I feel like now here it is, back-to-back years, you've drafted 2 guys that can do the same thing. I thought he played well. In fact, if you go and you look at the first series, Alex Wright made 2 plays. And to me, I thought both of those plays
were set up by
Mason Graham.
And that's what you want to do. And that's what you want to do in those situations. Team, isn't it, G? Where like it doesn't matter which one of us get to it. Yeah. One of us has to get to it, and if you get to it because of my play, cool. We win.
We all win together.
That's the chaos that you create. And if you collapse the pocket from the inside, that's where the quarterback can't step up, right? Myles Garrett runs the hoops is better than any other defensive end, but there's a lot of times you can step up because there's no pressure in the pocket. Now you see when you step up, there's guys that are pushing the pocket.
What grade would you give him for Friday?
I gave him a B-. Okay. I mean, there's some things he could, but here's the thing: you're not gonna see the best of Mason Graham until you get the whole D-line.
Yeah.
And they start bringing in waves. And then you get a guy that's as twitchy as Mike Hall next to him where you can't do certain things. Now, I thought Carson Schwesinger.
I give him an A.
49 was all over the field.
All over the football field. I couldn't believe how active he was. I mean,
13 snaps by you see those stats?
He had half the tackles.
13
he was
snaps.
in on half the tackles on the plays that he was on the field.
I said it. He's going to be in the top.
Do we have tape of him or no?
Oh, yeah, we got the tape from
good,
Sean,
good.
by the way.
I thought, I thought, like, and I don't want to be the king of the
there you go. Go
prisoner
ahead.
of the moment.
No, don't say it.
Go ahead and say it.
But here's what I was thinking as I'm watching.
Are your knees moving, Jay?
No,
Your knees are
it's
moving?
twitching. It's twitching. It's twitching. But here's what I'm going to say, okay? Now, and I don't say this after 13 snaps.
Yeah.
You can't make this assessment.
Yeah.
But I will say this. To me, he feels like a guy that we're going to be seeing for 10 years playing at a Pro Bowl level. And we hearken back to what a brilliant... This has the potential to be the best Andrew Berry draft pick yet.
Which is ironic because JOK
And he's 13 plays.
JOK was a similar style linebacker drafted
Exactly
in the second
right.
round.
Exactly
And
right.
Watching Schwesinger, and I'm curious if you picked up on this. It would have been a lot of fun to see him
and
JOK play together in that linebacker.
But you know what's messed up is because if they would have had those JOK, they wouldn't have drafted a linebacker.
No, they wouldn't.
And the funny part about it is,
we talk
a lot about Andrew Berry. It was easy for AB to go back in his notes like, okay, I know what to do with this.
Yes.
I know what to do with this.
I know
what to look for. I know exactly what I want. And when we talk about reading and reacting, this man was just reading and reacting all damn night.
And he's so quick.
He quick.
Like I thought that his football IQ, before you can be a great linebacker, you have to be smart between the ears. Ray Lewis told me once, everybody thinks it's this muscle. It's this muscle. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you can't use this muscle, or you can't use this muscle unless this muscle is active. Man. So that one's more important. He goes, you have to know where the ball's going. And he said, I've watched athletes, gifted athletes at Miami. He gave me a couple examples of guys at Miami that were really, really gifted as he was. But they couldn't follow the flow. When the ball was like, Ray had this knack for knowing where the ball was going next before it left the quarterback's hand, whether it was a pass or run, which side. And I said, how? Like, what keys are you looking for? He said, I don't know, man. It's like asking Ted Williams, how are you such a great hitter? I don't know. I just know what I see, and I know how to react to it.
When you talk-
and he would. I'm not. Please don't mistake me. I'm not saying he's going to be the next Ray Lewis. What I'm saying was, and G, I'd love to get your thoughts on this. I think that his mental and his guess or his feel for the game is his superpower. And the reason it took so long for UCLA to figure it out is because he's probably not as gifted as the other guys physically. But up here and in here, and that's where linebackers are built, I think he's off the charts.
Late bloomers are devastating.
Why?
Because when it clicks for them, they already are mature, they're already older, and when it clicks for them and they've seen it on film and the game starts to make sense, when you're a walk-on, you're not even getting no reps like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But once you start to play, the light bulb comes on. And I think he's is he a chemical engineer or bioengineer or something?
I think bioengineer was.
I'll look it up.
Bioengineer?
Yeah.
I think it was bio.
But the thing that people get is God-given ability is the instincts to know where the ball is. When you add on top of that layer your ability to then break down field and tendencies, that's another thing. And then the last thing is, do you have the God-given physical ability to actually diagnose what you see and then have the ability to
get there? You got to get there.
He got all three of them. And the thing that he does that I like so much is he's not running around you. He can run through you. He can run over you. He's good in pass coverage. He got good feet. He don't take. Sometimes you can see a person take false steps. He don't take no false steps. Look at him. He turned his hip 6 times in this.
He still got the pick.
He turned it six times because he's mirroring what the quarterback is doing. He can run past you. He can be slight. He can get through. He can get skinny in the gaps, and he plays on special teams. I'm gonna tell you what. This guy is gonna be one of them dudes that you look up at the end of the season, and you're gonna say this guy is over 100 tackles.
Oh,
and
God.
He's in the top 5 in tackles.
He had 6 tackles in 13 plays.
Bro,
it's almost like, do you remember every year when Ohio State would play Michigan? And Chris Spielman was a god anyhow. Chris Spielman, you know what Chris was.
Come on, man. He was
every single Michigan game, unless my memory is off, Chris Spielman would have 20 tackles.
The dude was on a Wheaties. The dude
At high
was
school.
on a Wheaties box for Maslin in high school.
In high school. But the reason I bring Chris Spielman up, and again, I'm not making that comparison yet.
Spielman's bad.
But when you play that position and you have that nose for the ball and that kind of instinct, you can get double-digit tackles every game. He's played 13 plays. He has 6 tackles.
He knows where the ball's going.
And that to me is, and he's a rookie in his first, and I love the interview that he gave after the game. He actually said he was excited to get out there, and he knew that the game was going to be faster because everybody told him it's going to be faster. But he said, I already made that adjustment in practice. Like, it was faster in practice, and I've made that adjustment. So in a matter of months, in working out here and there, mini camps, rookie mini camp, and now training camp, he's already said, oh, yeah, it's faster, but that's behind me. I figured that out. I've got it now. This man, please stay healthy.
That's it.
Please stay healthy because this is going to be a guy who is all around the football.
Yeah, and once everything get assembled, you'll start to see it. That's the thing that I look at. If the Cleveland Browns are going to overachieve this year, it'll be because the accumulate. That's why I'm kind of salty at the Martin Emerson injury, because I thought Martin Emerson was having a real good camp. I thought he was comeback focused. His new number looked different. I'm like, okay, and he got injured. I was kind of salty about that. But if the Browns are going to overachieve, and what I mean by overachieve, believe in it. That's why when you see Myles Garrett and he's out there talking about, yeah, we're going to need you this year. We're going to need this. We're going to need – like, the defense is the key to them being in a situation where they can win 7, 8 games.
I agree with that. I think the offense is what it is at this point. We know that's challenged. Wide receiver – I think at some point it's unfair to these quarterbacks because at some point, guys, it's going to be our ones against their ones.
You're right.
And that's not going to end well.
Yeah.
That's not going to end well. We've seen what it looks like to have a deficient wide receiver room. This wide receiver room is an embarrassment.
And I don't know. And where's – I don't understand it. Why is Cedric Tillman not playing? Like,
who knows?
They got him on ice. Like, this dude is the next.
And he's got a lot to prove.
Like, he's Al Toon. You not Harold Carmichael, bro. They got these dudes out here. I get it. You big. You got your frame. I know. I don't pause, but your frame. The crazy part about it is they got him out there like this dude is unstoppable, and I'm like, he needs some work. We ain't seen him since week 7.
Yeah, I know.
Last year.
I honestly think that when the dust settles and we do inventory of the season, it's going to come back to our lack of wide receivers. I don't care who your quarterback is. Man. You got to have wide receivers.
Got it.
So to your point, G, when I get excited and I start thinking, hey, maybe we could win 8 games.
Yeah.
The way I get to that space is if the defense reverts back to what it was 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Schwesinger is the player we think he's going to be, and we get play out of the middle. Mike Hall continues his progression.
I gotta see
and
Mike
Mason
Hall back.
Graham becomes. So if that happens, G,
Alex Wright
and our defense
our
defense starts squeezing teams, that's when I'm able to get myself to maybe we could win 8 games. Maybe we could do it.
And and I see where you're going. Your heart's hurt because they was going to use Judkins. That play action game, they was going to use him in a lot. We don't even know where he at. So it's like,
God. See, but then I'd be saying maybe we could make the playoffs.
Right. Then
maybe we could win 10 games.
Yeah.
Because I do think we're going to be a run-first team. And
yes.
I think, and listen, that's why I was disappointed that we saw 2 carries out of
Dillon Sampson.
out of Samuel. We got Ford is what? Ford is. We don't need to look at him. He's an all-pro. We don't need to look at him. Sampson, I think he could be a really good running back.
Is Marshall the undrafted rookie out of Appalachian State?
Yes,
yes.
And he looked okay to me.
I like what I saw from him.
I mean,
like him.
He wasn't,
he's not fleet of foot.
No, but
I like
what I saw.
I need to see what Sampson is, as long as Judkins is like on ice for at least. I think everybody agrees 6 weeks minimum.
Man, I'm going with 8.
Are you?
8. Listen, man, I don't know what kind of footage they got. I don't know. It's been taking a while.
I don't think there's footage we would have seen.
Well, listen.
Someone told me, you remember Ray Rice?
Yeah.
Someone reminded me, they said, remember what Ray Rice was before? Because Ray Rice, they're talking 2 games. And then the league suspended him, and it wasn't enough, and everybody went nuts. And then the video hit. That boy never saw another piece of grass in the NFL ever. And Ray Rice was prime Ray Rice when this happened.
I'm old enough to remember 6 games moved to 11.
Yes.
Real quick.
Hey, I don't look.
And by the way, with no smoking gun of guilt, just a lot of women alleging the same thing.
It's 11.
So
what did Mike get? Mike Hall got what, 4?
5.
5 or 6.
I thought he got 5.
And the charges got dropped. So,
but the thing was with I don't know if this is true. We don't know what any
Paul
of this
got
is
5.
true.
That's confirmed.
It's all he says, she says. But according to the police report, he punched her with a closed hand in the mouth. Now we all know what that looks like. Let's hope, for his sake, that there isn't video of that, because if there is,
hey man,
I'd be the first one screaming.
Hey,
because when you see that, it hits different.
Hey,
you can hear that he hit her. Maybe he hit her with an open hand. There's just no excuse for it.
Let me say
ever.
If it's true, if it is true, you gotta sit down, bro.
For what?
No, he got to sit down. I'm not gonna cry. Be like, Junkins ain't out here to get no touchdowns. I'm like, bro, you can't be punching people in the mouth. Like that's that's just what it is.
Not acceptable.
Like so.
I mean, Ray Rice, it cost him his career. He never played again.
Yeah.
So
once we saw it, everybody's reaction was exactly the same.
So I don't know when we're gonna see.
God.
McNuggets. I don't know when we're gonna see Junkins.
Yeah, he's not even signed yet. Still not under contract. We got one last Browns topic to get to today. We're gonna do that after a quick word from Yahoo Fantasy Football. Fantasy football is back. Fire up the group chat. Get your draft boards ready. Buckle up for a season filled with breakouts, busts, and all the overreactions we live for. It's all going down on Yahoo Fantasy this year. The UCSS League is going back to Yahoo Fantasy, and you should too, whether you're a first-timer or a vet making your millionth league. To celebrate 28 years of fantasy greatness, Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over 28 days, giving you more ways to play, more ways to draft, and more ways to win. It all begins on August 4th. Stay tuned and get started by creating or joining Yahoo Fantasy Football League at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. That is yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. Let's make this fantasy season the best one yet. Guys, Dustin Hopkins did make his lone field goal in the game against the Panthers, but he shanked an extra point, and it brought back a lot of flashbacks of last season.
PTSD.
To where Dustin Hopkins cost the Browns some games and was frankly just not that good last year after being signed to a contract extension. To my knowledge, and Earl, correct me if I'm wrong, there is no kicking competition in camp. It is just Dustin Hopkins as the solo kicker in Browns camp at the moment. If you were running the Browns, it's a 2-part question. Would you bring in some competition in camp? And right now, can you have faith in Dustin Hopkins?
Yes, I'm bringing in competition. No, I don't have much faith in Dustin Hopkins. I was at practice last week, and they were going through these field goal drills where the offense had 3 plays to get the field goal unit down to field goal range, and they kick a field goal. And I can't remember who was leading this group, but Dustin goes to kick a field goal, and the whistle was blown dead by the referee, but he missed it. So the miss didn't count. So they come back out the very next snap, and he
still missed it.
He kicks the field goal, and he barely makes it. And so to me, just a few instances I've seen in practice, plus when I seen there, no, I can't trust Dustin Hopkins to really be, 100% when it comes to like making his field goals and or his extra points. And I know the Browns were bad last year, and there was plenty of reasons why the Browns were bad last year. But if you go back to some of those games and you look at the marginal loss for the Cleveland Browns in some of those games, the outcome was swung because he either missed the extra point or he missed the field goal. And so just knowing that, let's say he cost us about 2 or 3 games last year.
Was it that many? I don't feel like it was.
I'm just throwing it out there. Just about 2 or 3 games, right? Let's say hypothetically he did that, and then he has not really been that strong in camp. You need another kicker in here pushing him forward. To me, I feel like every position group can use some competition. We won 3 games last year, so iron sharpens iron. There's one person better than another. He needs somebody in here that's pushing him to be better than what he is.
The reason why the Browns, people will say they're not going to win 7-8 games is because of special teams. Here's the thing. Jim Tressel always talked about it. Tressel could win games because you knew what the defense was going to do. You know they stayed with a crazy punter, and you know they stayed with a field goal kicker. Ohio State for decades was comfortable with playing with 13-7 leads. When Tressel or the Buckeyes was up 14-10, that felt like they was up 20 because they was not about to miss. They was gonna punt. They was gonna pin you deep. They had defense. They wasn't giving up big plays, and their field goal kicker will go 4 for 4. They ain't missing no extra points. You can't be missing no extra points, man. If you got rookie quarterbacks, right? The cool thing that I like so much about when Shedeur played was we ain't had to worry about that. When they got in the red zone off turnovers, touchdown. When they had the drives, they put it in the end zone. Thank goodness. But guess what? When you're playing against ones and you playing in a division like ours, you ain't going to be getting touchdowns every week against the Ravens and the Baltimores and the Bills and all them other dudes. You're going to need your field goal kicker to give you at least some sort of good feeling, especially you come out on the road. You march the ball down. You get 3 or 4 third down conversions. Hey, you come up on the edge of field goal range. You like, cool, let's kick the field goal. It's a difference between going up 3-0 with young quarterbacks just trying to learn something, or you missed the field goal. Now all of a sudden the momentum is right back where you. So to me, he got to tighten up, man. And I think the only reason they ain't got nobody in camp with them to have competition is because it's one of them contracts that they just gave that they can't afford to get rid of. He got guaranteed money still on the books. Yeah, so they're like, we're not going to cut a kicker with guaranteed money. First of all, why'd you give that money?
That's the bigger issue. For me, why are you handing that out after one really good season? I mean, let's face it.
It was nice.
His season was, but did you have to go and sign him for that long? Could you have put him on a 1 or a 2 year deal? Do you know that? Did you guys see Jacksonville's kicker? I think Cam Small is his name.
Cam Little.
Cam Little.
Dude,
70 yards.
70-yard field goal.
70 yards.
That's an NFL record if it was in a regular season game.
And I think the record is what?
67?
Hey, Corey.
66,
I want to say
away from Cam come fantasy time.
I told Corey, I said, well, there's our kicker.
He said, I'm going to
Guys, think
I
about
was
this.
hoping you ain't even bring him
when
up.
When they called up the video, when I looked at the video, to me, the shocking thing was he was a lot closer to the uprights that were at his back.
It was straight down the middle, too.
Nailed it.
That was good from 75.
But it was. But here's what was funny to me. They took the camera in the broadcast from behind him because it was closest to him. Where he stood when his foot hit that ball, he was 50 yards away from the goalpost behind him and 70 yards away from the goalpost that he made the field goal for.
That's wild.
So I bring that up to say this. What a weapon. What, bro, you start field position on the 25.
You ain't got to go far.
So if you get one first down, you're in this dude's field goal range.
Yeah.
They got 15 yards of offense, and he kicked a 70-yard field goal.
Stop talking about him, Jay. We still got a draft. Stop talking about him.
No, he's mine, bro. I'm taking the first round.
He was their starting kicker last year, by the way. He went 27-29 on field goals last year.
Yeah, the guy's got it. So here's what I'm saying. Like, we've seen in golf, we've seen the sport change with distance, like everybody now. Tiger kind of reinvented the sport because he was the only one going 350 on the reg, and now everybody can do it. So it was a great equalizer. I think we're going to see a day in the NFL where there are 32 human beings on the planet that can do that more often than not. Like, when you look at kickoffs now, they kick the ball out of the end zone. They used to not be able. I remember when they kicked off from the 35-yard line, bro. A lot of guys couldn't get it to the goal line. That's only 65 yards in the air. Homeboy it would have been good from 75 yards. Now, it was a line drive. You got to know how to punch that. And a lot of those could get blocked. But my thinking is, we're asking a question. Should a guy who missed 9 kicks last year, what did he miss last year? 25 of 33 or something?
Dustin Hopkins missed 8 kicks last year.
What about the extra points?
And extra points. He missed a lot of those.
You want to include extra points? Hold on, let me do the mental.
You know what Browns fans say when he misses extra points now? Most teams, they go, "Oh my God, he missed it." You know what we say?
He missed another one.
He missed another one. It's our standard operating procedure to miss an extra point.
Hopkins was last year, just so we're all operating the same. Oh, and Jay, it was 9 field goals itself.
He missed 9, right?
And he missed 3 extra points.
That's what I thought.
12 kicks total.
Bro, he missed 12 kicks.
Out of how many?
And he's in camp with no competition.
12 out of how many?
50?
47.
It don't matter. He missed 12 kicks.
Yeah, that's all I need to know. You can't miss 12 kicks and keep your job. Here's the problem. Nobody else is in camp.
No.
Now, I did learn this with kickers. You know, you guys follow the league at home. You know this. There's really 30 guys in camp.
Yeah.
Because most teams do have another guy in camp. Even guys that have good kickers, they have another guy on the roster.
Just in case.
And they're going to get cut. So there's going to be 25 available kickers on September 1st. So they're good at scouring, and they'll bring in 3 or 4, and they'll have an open tryout. Winner gets the job if they decide to move on. But my thing is, guys, how long have we been asking the question about Cleveland kickers? Really, since Phil retired.
Since Phil retired.
And since Phil Dawson hung them up, we really haven't had that guy that we can count on a regular basis.
And they ask him all the time. I think they asked, I forget who said this. I was at practice. They asked Bubba Ventrone about do they have a kicking specialist or do they have somebody that works with them. He said, they just do their thing in-house. Like other teams they have specialists. They have people who just do that.
I think Jason has advocated many times on the show that he can't believe that in this specialized age, look how important those are. So he missed 12 kicks. 9 of them were field goals. That's 27 points. That's if you spread it out. And then you throw in the missed extra points. That's almost 2 points a game. How many games do you lose by 1 or 2 points? In this specialized era where everything is so micromanaged, to think that every team doesn't. Why isn't Phil Dawson on our staff?
And I keep trying to listen. We lost it. Listen, the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, we kicked the ball, right? We got a turnover.
Is that the one we lost on it?
No. We did we lose that game or win? We beat Jacksonville.
We beat Jacksonville.
They kicked the ball off. We get a turnover on special teams.
We could have lost that one.
And the kicker is just too far ahead of the line of scrimmage, and you're just nilly-willy. We just walk down. They're like, no, your kicker was offside.
I know. How does that even happen?
All you got is one thing to do. Now, I look at it like this. Even in that scenario, if you kick the ball in the end zone and it's a touchback, you get the ball on like the 35 now or something, right?
25?
I believe it's the 35-yard line now.
No.
I think it's the 25.
I think they moved up to 30.
Okay, 30.
I could have swore it was the 35 because he was like, if it's a touchback, you get the ball on 35.
Oh shit, Jesus, right?
Is it 35 now?
It's
it was a new rule.
This year.
Real quick, I'll read you the little blurb from NFL. The dynamic kickoff is here to stay with one notable adjustment. NFL ownership voted Tuesday at the annual league meeting to continue to utilize the dynamic kickoff while moving the ball spot on touchbacks from the 30 to the 35-yard line.
With the whole reason being they don't want it to be a throwaway play. And so that sort of disincentivizes kicking it into the end zone.
So if your kicker, think about this. If your kicker, he kicks the ball in the end zone, it's a touchback. They get it on the 35. If they got a kicker on the other side that's kicking it from half field,
70.
All you got to do,
one first down.
That's a 10-yard dig route.
It's a weapon.
Game.
And we got a guy that is missing extra points from 33 yards.
That has to be money bags. That has to be 31 yards. By the way,
I'm surprised.
I do like the fact that they moved it back because now that is not a guaranteed play.
No, it forces teams to kind of pooch it and to kick it between the 10 and the 5, and now you've got a play. There's a return.
I like that, and I like the fact that they moved the extra point back. Now it's not a gimme. It's not a field goal. Like it's not like an extra point.
It's still 33 yards though, right?
But yeah, 33
I mean, they
yards.
did that like 10 years ago, whatever it was.
But for us, look how many times we done got screwed on that.
Has anybody missed more extra points over the last 10 years than Browns kickers?
I have absolutely no way to look that up while sitting here with one hand. But
AI might be able to tell us.
I don't feel safe on extra points.
I don't either.
I don't feel safe.
Basically, the answer to the question is I can't believe that they don't have another kicker in camp.
There is technically another kicker in camp. It's that Andre Schmidt guy who they've brought back.
Bro, I don't think I've seen him kick not one field goal.
But I was going to say that the 3 days I've been out there, Earl, it's been all Hopkins from what I've seen.
He need to go tell them.
Did you see him when you was out there?
No, I didn't see him. He need to go tell the Browns, listen, this is like a college girlfriend. You wasted my time. I ain't getting no younger. What are we doing here?
Yeah, you either with me or you're not.
You like, I done waited you out for 4 years in college. Like, is he getting any checks? Like, is he just out here praying for meals? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. All right, guys, we're going to move on and talk a little baseball because the Guards are red hot. But first, a reminder that August 26th is officially now FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just over 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before Week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now, because Futures Day is a one-day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game how you want, when you want. It's America's #1 sportsbook.
I got to read this because this is it's sad, but it's kind of funny too. So a buddy of mine who's a big Lions fan just sent this, and he says they're out there. Lions found a guy selling insurance as a camp invitee who made multiple 60-plus yard field goals as a rookie last season. 26 of 29 field goals made. 68. This is the thing that really gets me. They scored 69 touchdowns last year. He was 68 of 69 on extra points. Now, I know the Lions score a lot of points, but he kicked 69 extra points.
That's wild.
And missed one.
That's crazy. And
dude was selling insurance.
He was selling insurance. That's
like,
crazy.
My God.
That's crazy.
That just goes to show you how hard selling insurance is. He's like, if I get in here, I ain't never going back to doing that.
I ain't missing this boat.
They got me knocking on doors, unacceptable. Like, hey man, how you doing? Listen,
can I interest you in a plan that covers you and your spouse for $650 a month?
You're like, Jay, listen, my wife is getting everything already, bro. Like, listen, how much more insurance? I'm not gonna give her no incentive. Like, $500,000.
Well, that's like the Cowboys kicker. That dude never played football. He was a soccer player.
That's wild.
He just hit everything. I think he missed one kick all year.
Oh, yeah,
that dude was insane. And he was watching a football game with his fiance, I think at the time, and he goes, that doesn't look like it'd be that hard. I think I could do that. And she said, oh, come on, man. You kick a round ball. This ball is oblong, and it goes end over end. It's got to be harder than you think. He goes, I don't know, man. I'm going to try it. So they went to a field. He took a bunch of footballs, and she was holding them, and he just one after another, boom, boom, boom. He goes, no, it's as easy as I thought it would be. The guy was Pro Bowl last year. I think he was the best kicker in the league last year.
And they even got a Pro Bowl returner. They was like, yeah, that Turpin kid, I think he plays for the USFL or something.
They always find these oddball guys that.
And why we got Deontay Foreman, the first fullback returner in the history of the game. Fullback return. They were setting the wedge for him. What?
Well,
it's Foreman.
He is not currently on a team, so that may be why.
I remember that.
Yeah.
With a straight face. I said,
what is wrong with this picture?
These
Jay,
guys.
let's talk a little Guards, though. They beat the White Sox this weekend again, 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
And they continue to make this AL Central race quite interesting down the stretch. Jay, I know they lost yesterday, but when you look at this overall picture.
You know what was crazy is they took 2 of 3, and Ramirez and Kwan were both ass.
Yeah.
He gave us next to nothing.
Cheeks.
And all of a sudden, buns. All of a sudden, Cal Manzardo homered twice yesterday. I really thought they were going to pull that out. They had a couple opportunities when it was 5-3. They left runners at second and third with the heart of their lineup up. But you can't get upset. You can't ding them because they're only losing 1 in every 3 games. They won another series. You can go back. I think it's 9 series now.
9 of 10.
9 of 10 series they've won. If it weren't for the Brewers, they would be the hottest team in baseball. Brewers won 10 in a row now. They came back from the Mets, a pretty sizable deficit yesterday to beat the
damn
Mets.
pancakes in the manager's pocket.
I know. It's like, man, I would try anything. Look, I don't care what it is. I'm not superstitious. I'm extra superstitious. I think that the bad thing about it is yesterday the Tigers won, so they went back to was it 6 games out now?
6.
in the division.
Yeah, they're back to 6 games.
I'm still holding out a small margin of hope that they can catch Detroit because Detroit's playing so awful. And when you look at that schedule, there's 4 more. They should be able to win those series.
But why ain't nobody being like, okay, let's just do the wild card? Like, why ain't nobody?
Well, here's the problem with that. You put 6 teams in the mix instead of 1. Like, if you focus on just catching Detroit, you don't have to worry about what anybody else does. Right now, I mean, it's way too early to say this, but their destiny is in their own hands.
Yeah.
They're 6 games out, and they have 6 to play with the Tigers. So they can control things. Now, you're not going to take 6. You hope to win 4 of 2. Mm-hmm. That only gets you 2 games in the standings.
Yeah.
That means you've got to, if you can do that, and you're going to see Tarek Skubal at least twice in that run. So
uphill.
you basically, I hear what you're saying, G. Obviously, much easier path to the playoffs through the wild card.
Right.
Yankees are absolutely gagging.
That's what I'm saying.
Gagging. But there's so many teams that are stacked up there, you could pass the Yankees and someone could get you.
Yeah.
So I love their approach. Their approach is very simple. Let's just take this in bite sizes that we can handle. Series. Win the series. It's almost like they've won the first 2 games of a couple series. Not the Mets, they swept. But a couple of other series, they won the first 2. And it was almost like they took their foot off the gas in the 3rd game because they knew they had the series in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's really the case, but to me watching it felt like yesterday I didn't feel a sense of urgency, even though that was a very winnable game against a bad team. But I'm encouraged, man. I'm really encouraged. I'm mad because Kafis is as good as we thought he would be, and you'd say, well, why are you mad over that? You should be happy about that. Because we should have called him up a month sooner.
Yeah, we could have been cooking.
I remember the year they kept Frankie down so they could keep the extra year of his control.
That.
And they ended up missing the playoffs that year by a couple of games. You're going to tell me that calling Frankie up in April or even May couldn't have made the difference in 2 games? Yeah. He's Frankie Lindor. Same thing with Kafis. He has been lights out. And Bazana might get a call up. You know, they just elevated a couple of guys to AAA. That's usually, you do that, and if they handle it well, then they could be September call-ups. So I haven't given up on the idea that we could see Bazana for a stretch at the end of the season.
And what makes it even look better is Kyle Manzardo. Even though they be playing with these at-bats, listen, we asked before. They said, well, the way the Guardians look at it, they got their analytics. Man, listen, man, if you squint hard enough, you can look at him saying he can hit 30 home runs.
Yeah, he could still hit 30 this year.
30. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you meant down the road.
No. 30 right now.
Hell, he hit 2 yesterday.
So
He's been in a stretch.
If you get to a point where you can have a Kyle Manzardo and Kafis is looking good, you got Quan and Ramirez.
Now you got a
Now
you're halfway home.
You see?
You got 4 solid bats.
You see how these things work?
And the other guys are hitting better, except, I don't know what Bo Naylor's doing.
Real quick. This came to my head as you said that. And Jay said if you squint hard enough, you could see like the semblance of a good lineup.
Yeah.
And Jay said earlier, if you squint hard enough and based off some preseason results, and if Gabriel looks good in the game, you squint hard enough, maybe the Browns have a plethora of quarterback talent. They could.
We blind.
Which one are you squinting harder at to get to a reality?
I don't really need to squint that hard to see Manzardo hitting 30.
No,
I don't.
Because he's
No, I don't mean Manzardo. I mean the lineup as a whole.
The lineup in a whole.
Being a competent Guardians. G said if you look at Manzardo.
Oh, no, listen.
You see what I'm saying,
Well,
G?
there's 4 pieces.
There's 4.
You need 6. If you have 7, you're a playoff team that can make a run. But you need 6.
So if I got DeLauder, right, I'm not even playing. Listen, if he gets hurt next year, he's going to be hurt in a major league uniform.
Well, if he gets hurt next year, I think everybody's going to give up on him. It'll be like a Spina. Like after a while, you can only be next in the pipeline for a couple of years when you just keep getting injury.
If he, my thing is, if you know it's not the talent and you just know it's the injuries, well, let me just see the injury happen, right? Give him the opportunity to it
get
at
hurt
this
here.
level.
Yeah, right.
I don't want it does you no good to have him hurt in triple A or double A.
No.
Now I look and squint. So you said Bazana. All of a sudden, he's been hitting the ball way better since he came back. So now you said you need 6. I at least can give you 6 names now. Before, I couldn't give you that. And
are you throwing David Fry? Who's your 6th?
Well,
so we got Quan, Ramirez, Manzardo. I mean, by the way, putting Bazana in there as a piece at the major league level, that's a big.
Yes, it's a jump.
That's a big jump.
We just having a conversation.
We
squinting.
Yeah, well, we're really squinting. I might have one eye closed.
But I can squint and look at Martinez. I can say I like him. I like
he's a serviceable piece.
He's serviceable piece. I ain't asking.
What I really can't. I can't squint. I can't put on Mr. Magoo's glasses. The one that I can't see is Bo Naylor. I like Bo personally, but
that's Dunsky.
My God, is he still hitting 170 something?
That's Dunsky.
I think he's like 178.
And that's my mom. That's one of my mom's favorite players. I told her.
I like him too a lot. Personally,
my mom likes
he's a great kid. He's easy to talk to. I think he. It's not for lack of trying, but bro, when you're hitting 170, like I know that average isn't the stat it used to be, but it's not like he's got 27 ribs and he's hitting 170.
If he had 17 homers and he was batting 205,
I could live with that.
I'd be like,
I could live
17
with that.
though. I could work with.
Yeah.
But it's 10 and it's 178.
God damn.
Jay, question for you. When the last time you seen or heard this? I've been over here looking at the Guardians schedule in September. The 8th through the 11th, they have a 4-game series against Kansas City.
Okay.
Then you go 12th through the 14th. You got a 3-game set against the White Sox.
Right.
You go 14th through the
That's the Tigers.
18th.
That's the Tigers.
4-game against the Tigers. Followed by.
Wait, is it 4 or 3? I thought we had 6 left with them.
It's a 4-gamer.
Then we might have 7 games with
Detroit.
Detroit.
Then you got a 4-gamer against Minnesota, then a 3-gamer against Detroit. So from the 8th of September through
that's
the 25th,
what they do. It's all divisional
Central.
play.
Straight divisional play.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Well,
they do that with good reason. They know that those games are the ones that matter.
So what do you got to do for them to be in contention? If you got all them set up, how many of them they got to win?
Are we sure they have 7 games left with Detroit? I thought I counted and there were 6.
I'm looking at it.
I thought it was 6 too.
They play the Tigers the 16th through the 18th.
Okay, that's 3.
6, yeah.
That's 6?
Yeah, 6.
I had one
that's what I thought. But your point's a good one. Look.
You playing straight divisional opponents.
And that's the way baseball set it up, and I like that, and I think that's the way it should be. It's the equivalent of ending the season in football against Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati.
I hate that.
I know you hate it, but it's good when you got 2 games to make up.
It is.
You've got a chance.
Yes.
And they want all the games to count.
Bless you.
Thank you. But the point there is, the White Sox are the White Sox. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're playing for golf for tee times. The Twins have rapidly fallen out of the race. Mm-hmm. The Royals are sticking around in the wild card. Who knows what's going to happen over the next month before we see them? But those games may be meaningless for them too. Now look, we're 5 ahead of Minnesota, and we were 9.5 behind Detroit a month ago. So a lot can change in a month, but I think it sets up beautifully.
And I'm pretty sure the rest of the division will be playing the same way. So
they're all playing one another.
It's going to be exciting to watch how this all plays. Yeah, that's going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be great. I had given up on September being a meaningful month for the Guardians. When they lost 10 in a row and they were 15 and a half out, I'm like, yeah, this is
15 and a half out is
that's too big a number.
Fun, yeah.
And in a month, they clipped 9.5 games off of that lead. You're going to find very few instances in August, September baseball where teams marched 9.5 games in a month. I mean, 2 things have to happen. You've got to be red hot, and they've got to be awful, and that's exactly what happened.
If we was to make the playoffs and the playoffs started right now, who's your ace for the Guardians?
I don't think there's any question. Gavin Williams is now the ace. He's for me surpassed.
Ain't that funny how that happened?
Yeah.
We started talking about Gavin was
he couldn't get out of the 4th and 5th innings,
and now in like 2 months,
July. So right before the All-Star break is when I noticed a different approach for him. He was trying to strike too many guys out. He was trying to be too cute with some of his pitches. He was at 100 pitches in the 4th and 5th inning this year. Yep. You're not helping your team, because even if you win that game, you're taxing your bullpen every 5th day. You're throwing 3 or 4 arms out there. You can't do that. But something clicked. I don't know what it was. Carl Willis was talking a little bit about that. He has better command of his stuff, which is critical. When he had the near no-hitter, he still had a pretty high pitch count. A lot of times no-hitters, you're talking about guys are barely at 100 pitches. And, you know, he was at 120, I think is what he finished at, or right around there. Yeah. Like, even in the no-hitter where he had great command and good stuff, and he didn't have a high strikeout. Usually you get a high pitch count when you strike out a lot of guys because you're going deeper into counts. He only, I think, had 6 strikeouts, but he just looks like an ace to me now. He looks like he can be a guy that, you know, he's not a Scooble ace, but he's our ace.
He showed his numbers last week, and over the last 7 starts, he's been just
great.
Awesome.
A different guy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we got one last topic we got to get to today. It's brought to us by Game Time. We've all been there before, logging on early, waiting forever for tickets, only to see your spot go to someone else because your ticket app did not work properly. Also, there's a fly flying around in here that I'm going to kill.
At least he left the studio. He was in here before.
Use Game Time to get all your tickets. It makes it easier than ever. Prices actually drop as it gets closer to showtime. You can save up to 60% with killer last-minute deals on the Game Time app. Take the guesswork out of buying your concert tickets and show tickets and sports tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. So over the weekend, Chris Fedor was on a podcast, and he was asked about some of the Cavs' trials and tribulations over the last couple of years. And Chris Fedor had this interesting quote to say that, Earl, I want you to start us off with on reacting to. Chris Fedor said, quote, "The Cavs have a lot of confidence that they are ready to compete for a championship. They do believe they learned what they needed to learn from their latest playoff exit. We all know the Cavs lost to the Pacers in round 2 this year. They lost to the Celtics in round 2 last year. They lost to the Knicks in round 1 3 years ago, and they lost in the play-in game 4 years ago. So, Earl, do you believe this has been enough trial, tribulation, and learning for the Cavs to get over their recent playoff failures?
I absolutely believe that for a couple reasons. One, this group have been together 3 or 4 years. And Jay, I'm a person that believes in humility before honor. They've had their share of humility. They have been on this roller coaster of experiencing a lot of highs and a lot of lows together. If you get the opportunity to cover the Cavs in person and you're in the locker room, you will know that this is a close-knit group that believe in their own ability and each other. But not only that, they believe in Kenny Atkinson and his system. And then you couple that with the fact that if you look at the Eastern Conference, it's pretty much going to be wide open. Now, I know, like, you've been eliminated in the second round 2 years in a row, and I understand that going from being eliminated in the second round to eventual NBA champions is a massive leap in progression, but I find it hard to believe that the Cavs can't do that for every reason I just named. The chemistry, the experiences of the lows, the overcoming the adversity, and then the wisdom that comes from, you know, how poorly they played in the second round this past year versus Indiana. It's more like, why not the Cavs, right? Because I expect Donovan to be better. I expect Evan Mobley to be better. And this is going to be year 2 in Kenny's system. And so, yeah, I figure why not?
Man, well, listen, if the Cavs jump is anything like this do-rag version of Evan Mobley.
That was AI.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but that was
a lot
AI.
of people thought that was real.
See, no,
including Dustin.
No.
I saw Dustin sent it to the group, and I was surprised that he fell for it.
Bull sent it first, and then I said AI, and then Dustin sent it again, saying, "Holy crap, you see?"
Oh, yeah, Dustin must have missed.
Oh, you thought I was talking about his build? I'm talking about his game. I mean, like, I'm talking about the videotape. That wasn't AI when he was out there dribbling the ball 3 quarters court.
do-rag Mobley with the...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was real. That's not AI.
The steroids.
The steroid version of Mobley
is fake.
Yeah, listen.
If he looked like that, we're winning the championship.
Hey, man,
He look like that, he's suspended.
and he's probably also boxing, too.
If he looked like
with his reach.
if he looked like that, Sell would be
He
like,
is suspended. We're not even going to test you, Evan Mobley. You got a year off.
Go sit your ass down.
You too slow, Trunks.
All right, G, what were you saying?
Can't do that. No,
I know what you're saying. We've talked about the moves that he's been working on and the videotape that's been out there.
I need him to, like, because look, you know, McNuggets. He's been the leader in the clubhouse, in the media, saying that Evan Mobley, where he needs to go, and if he gets there, the Cavs are going to be dominant because Evan Mobley will be the best player on the squad. Mm-hmm. Now, when you watch Donovan Mitchell's game, you be like, that's hard to believe, but when you see what he's been working on I need to get my shot wherever I need to go. If you're going to be a grown man in these streets, you got to have a car. You can't, no disrespect to people that's on public transportation, but you can't date. You got to get to your job and your work. Bro, you need to have your own wheels.
No bikes in the association.
No bikes. You can't put the girl in the back of your bike, bro. That don't work. I need you to be able to get your own shot. Now, he already expanded his three-point ability to shoot. You see it there's 37%. But here's what I want from him. I need 24. I need to go from 18 to 24.
You need more offense.
I want more offense, and I want that one
three more
rebound.
buckets a game.
Get 3 more.
That's doable.
Give me 2 more rebounds and 3 more buckets, right? And I think he could get there because his usage is going to go up. So if they want to get there, I like it. Now, mind you, DeAndre Hunter, you, my good sir, you were the upgrade. I need you to come back with your game together. Darius Garland, we'll figure out what you're going to do when you get back with the foot and the toe stuff. But other people got to step up. I was on Max Strus last year. Tough. Max Strus actually showed up. Max Strus showed up. The rest of y'all cats did not show up like
Donovan
that.
Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell and Max Strus. Mobley, But listen, the rest of y'all need to step y'all game up.
Yeah, I'm going to give, to me, Evan Mobley made a Herculean jump that I didn't expect. Just because his jumps were incremental steps.
Yeah.
Last year, he took a jump. All-NBA, Defensive Player of the Year, like financially, that really hurts
All
the
defensive
Cavs.
team.
Yeah,
It's the best year of anybody not named LeBron James.
All-star.
for Cavaliers.
For Cleveland, of all time.
Oh, better than anything that even Mitchell's done in his time.
I mean, am I correct in saying?
No, you might be right.
Am I correct? Now, what all NBA? What was Evan Mobley?
So it depends. Well, Mobley was second team. Mitchell was first. So if you consider a DPOY plus a second team,
Yes.
And
better
plus
than a
a-
first,
It puts him in the conversation, but
and
for me,
plus-
I'm still saying
and
he
And
was
was-
plus,
all-star.
and
He was
plus he was an
all-star.
all-star, and he was first team all defense.
I know.
That's a year.
Your point, and Jason has said this forever. They'll never win a title unless he's their best player, and I mostly buy into that. But your point of the bar being extremely high for him to pass Donovan Mitchell,
It is.
Like if Donovan Mitchell continues playing at the level he is, and that we can definitively say next year, because Donovan Mitchell was still our best player last year.
Yeah, by far. What do you mean?
And so Evan had a great season, but he's still not to Donovan's level. If Donovan continues to play at his level and he makes a similar jump next year, because that's what it would take for me, for him to surpass Donovan Mitchell, then we win the title and it's done.
Yeah,
we win the NBA championship.
If that would mean you have 2 players that are capable of being first team All NBA.
And
if you have
MVP conversation
yeah,
players.
if you have
If
2
you have
players,
that, you're going to win the NBA championship.
Yeah, you should be great.
So now those are huge ifs.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
those are huge ifs. But I love the fact that he's out there working on his game, adding moves in the low post. I like your number too. Quite frankly, 24 sounds like, he can't go from 18 to 24. He hits one more 3, one more field goal, and one more free throw a game,
Yeah.
and that will come with the aggression.
Right.
There you have 24 game. Now if you have Donovan Mitchell playing like he's playing, Garland comes back from the foot and keeps playing as well as he's playing, and Evan Mobley is in that 24 range and plays like he did last year, but even better, I think you've got a team. Now, let me channel my inner bull for a second. Oh, none of this matters at all. I don't even care about it. It's conversation. It's words.
Yeah, this is just
if Bull was here, Bull would say, you're not going to convince me until May and June. You're not going to do anything in October or November or December, January, February, March, or April that's going to make me stand up and say, oh, okay, yeah, they're going to be an NBA champ. You can only do that work in May and June.
Now,
and they haven't been able to do
and
it
I think
yet.
we all agree with that. Like, don't get it twisted. We're going to enjoy the regular season, and I'm going to live in real time, and I'm going to be excited when I see a big play.
But
and
if they
when the
win
Cavs are
70,
hot.
I'm not doing
But at the
backflips.
end of the day, it's not going to mean a
I
damn
fell
thing
for that
to none of
bait.
us because we won. We know what it's like to be champions. 2, we know what it's like to come up short when we thought we had a championship caliber team.
Now, here's the fly in the ointment, okay? I believe that the Cavaliers will be the best team in the Eastern Conference. It's going to take everything that we talked about if they're going to want to beat Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City's got a year under their belt, and they're still young, and they're still early in their deals. This is set up to be dynastic.
Hey, listen.
Oklahoma City is built.
It's a bunch of people. Like, come on. Listen, the Rockets roster
I know.
is stupid. The Rockets.
There's 3 teams in the West that conceivably you could say are ahead of the Cavs.
Denver's not a slouch. The Timberwolves ain't a
Denver
slouch.
got better.
Denver
made a move to get better.
Denver's
Yeah.
so
Denver's a
so
better
you
team.
know really you're going to meet expectations next year. You'll be playing into the middle of June.
No,
That's how you meet
You have to.
expectations.
you have to. No,
I have them earmarked to play in the NBA Finals next
If
year.
they
And
don't got-
anything short is another.
If they don't
debacle.
got the finals trophy on the court, and there's some games with the finals. By the way, NBA, bring that back.
Where they used
What
to
are you doing?
hold
What are
it
you
out
doing?
there.
I need the huge trophy, not the small one at the 3/4 court. I need the big one.
The players hate it. That's the issue. The players hate it.
Why?
Why?
They just don't like seeing
It's a
it.
sticker and it's slippery compared to the hardwood.
Oh.
So when it's that big,
Yeah.
there was a lot more of the
Oh, that's
slippery
interesting.
space.
I never heard that.
I hadn't heard
Yeah.
that either.
That's why they went to the holograms, but the holograms suck. And
Yeah,
now it's
oh.
that in between. How do we give the fans and the viewers like part of what they want without putting these guys in danger? Because the worst thing you want is in the NBA Finals having SGA or Donovan or whoever slip and twist an ankle in that situation.
Can't have it.
We got a bunch of super chats, so let's get to those to wrap up today's show. M. Vine says, for a rookie who was supposed to have issues with the playbook, getting in and out of the huddle, and processing things, not one timeout was needed during that entire time on the field. Process that.
Yeah,
And-
when was the last time that happened?
And McNuggets, listen, if you reading the Shedeur Sanders super chat, man, you can't mess that up. That's sabotage. You better stop coughing. No.
I
to get a
apologize.
cut.
All right, next
to get a
one.
cut.
Stephen Allen Spencer says, who's a better quarterback right now, Flacco or Aaron Rodgers?
This is weird.
That's very weird. That's odd.
No is the answer to that.
No.
No.
Dragon the Abandoner
I mean,
says,
40 and 1 Super Bowl.
I know. Go back. Go
41,
back.
like, I don't know.
Go back. You spent your money to ask that super
Yeah,
chat. Shout out to you. I'm
Yeah,
asking your question.
give me Joe Flacco.
Give me Joe Flacco.
Yeah, give me Joe Flacco because the baggage with Aaron,
Yeah.
to me,
Give me Joe.
Aaron Rodgers
Don't
came
listen to Corey.
unraveled in New
Don't
York
listen to
because of his baggage, and we haven't seen that from Joe.
Yeah, give me Joe.
Dragon the Abandoner
Flaccavelli.
says, Jay, everybody can't play. If they're all good, the rookies win out.
I
Bosco
will
says,
listen. On that note, I know everybody can't play, but I've always said if it's a tie, well, Herm Edwards said this Friday. If it's a tie, the kids win because it shouldn't be a tie.
Exactly.
But I have to know that it's a tie. I can't assume that it's a tie.
Bose Crow
yeah,
says,
yeah.
thank God you guys aren't GMs. After one preseason game, you guys are writing off Kenny Pickett without even seeing him play, and no Steelers excuses for
I want to
the
see.
horrible OC.
Hey, he got to get out there.
Yeah, we got to see him.
I can't rub his hand
Now,
down
if
and
we're
get him
going to play
there.
in the hypothetical world,
Okay.
because I know you said, what if he doesn't? If he doesn't get on the field, then yeah. I mean, you can't name him the starter in week 1 if he suddenly gets healthy. No.
I'm willing to
But
say-
before I cut bait on this guy, I have to see what he is.
I would be.
Have to.
Listen, I told him. Listen, if I'm Shedeur Sanders, I'm sitting in a clubhouse drinking a Mai Tai or some sort of.
If I'm Shedeur, I ain't tripping on nothing right now.
Hey, go ahead, get your money.
Let me ask you guys this question.
Go play.
We got a
Who
bunch of
has
these.
the higher profile? Sam Darnold going into last season or Kenny Pickett coming into this season?
Darnold.
See,
Darnold.
that's easy for me.
Darnold?
No, the higher profile. In other words,
Darnold.
No, Darnold to me was cooked, done. Before Minnesota, he was trash.
I think everybody thinks Kenny Pickett is.
Kenny Pickett's got 12 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. What was Sam Darnold's touchdown to pick ratio before last season?
I think people say if Pittsburgh gave up on you, that's tough. Pittsburgh do everything right according to most people.
Well, they gave up on the offensive coordinators, what they gave up on.
They could have put him back in there.
Sam Darnold before last season was 63 touchdowns to 56 interceptions.
Yeah, no. Darnold was done.
All right,
He'd
next
been
one.
Passed around like socks.
Next one, Dragon the Abandoner says the Browns did not pick up Kenny's option, so he's a free agent next year. Daryl Green says, Jay, Kenny was such a sure thing the Browns second-guessed themselves and said, we better bring in Joe Flacco.
Well, they only had one quarterback on the team.
Charles
You
T.
had to bring in
said,
quarterbacks.
aren't Pickett and Joe on one-year deals? If Pickett balls out, are we even able to afford him? The plan should be to get a look at the rookies and hope they are it.
Well, I agree with that too, just because of finances. The perfect scenario here is one of the rookies hits because you get a starting quarterback on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
See Seattle when they won their Super Bowl. You know, that gives you a huge advantage. Now you can go add a lot of pieces elsewhere because you're not paying a quarterback $30 million, especially a quarterback that you took in the 5th round.
Charles T. also says, especially to his last super chat, with all of Cleveland media saying it's about the mystery quarterback in next year's draft, they're not planning for the vets. If one of the two of the rookies ball, you can get two skill players in next year's draft. Dragon the Abandoner says, we don't need Judkins, we have Amani Marshall. Christian Story says, this season is all about the rookies, go Browns. And Blue Shedorian says, what's your 3 favorite pizza places in Cleveland?
I couldn't tell you.
Deloros.
I couldn't tell you.
Conjur's Pizza, Angela Mia's, and
wait, you don't have a favorite pizza
Romeo's.
Hey, but listen, when you diabetic people can't be eating no pizza.
You don't eat pizza?
Not no more.
What?
Not no more.
If you're on the east side of Cleveland, man, go to Conjur's, go to Angela Mia's, man. I'm telling you.
Or Deloros, East Side, Bainbridge, New York style. Oh,
Bull said it was very, very good.
You know, I forgot to ask Bull what he thought of it.
Very, very good.
Okay, good. So he enjoyed it.
He said it's his number 1 in Cleveland now.
Yeah, he did.
See you in overtime.
Whoa!
He elevated
Peace.
it.